shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Say please, I'm a corner by the way. Throw cigarettes out the window. I mean,
You don't have probable cause for me, then. That's fine.
there's a cigarette was thrown out your vehicle.
Not mine.
That was a cherry.
Let me ask you, if I throw this out right now, what are you going to do?
Write your ticket.
There you go. Write me a ticket.
All right, license registration, man.
Nope.
License, please.
Nope. Call the supervisor. Here's my cigarette.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
Yeah. What if I throw this one out? You going to give me another one?
I'm not gonna play the game all night, man.
Oh, I will. I don't know. What do you think? I should throw this one out too? See what he says. What if I throw the cigarette out, La Placa?
Just write another ticket.
There you go.
Alrighty.
I'll do this whole night, La Placa.
It's fine. You want to pick it up, man?
Nope.
All right.
If you pick it up.
I'm going into the courtroom in a minute. We have court in 5 minutes. Relax, Alice. Stop causing a disturbance, please. You're causing a disturbance. You're causing a disturbance, sir. If I take this cigarette, right, and I throw it on the ground, what would you do? Okay. Well, I'm going to do that right now.
I'm going to tell you what the rules are. I'm going to tell you to follow the rules, and if you don't follow the rules, let me finish. I don't want to hear the rules of the court.
You promised me you would not cause a
No,
problem.
you're causing a problem right now.
No.
No. Yeah, you are.
You promised me.
No, I don't make promises. How about another one, Ellis? Huh? Here's another one.
I understand the rules. I'm going to take a recess until he's ready to listen.
Let's get this process over with so you can take my money. The faster we get this done, the faster I'm out of here. Can you not take my money?
Oh, if you went in with a wheelbarrow full of coins, I don't know that would make somebody very happy.
Oh, well, I'm not very happy. I have to pay a fine.
Have a seat, and once it's counted, then you can leave. So they can't give you a receipt until I count it.
Could always mail it to me. I'm not waiting around. I'll make you a promise right now, right? You ready for this one? I promise you that I will record every public employee that works in this state and others.
So 124.
Yep, I have it right here
Wait, where?
on the floor in a bucket.
Of what?
Pennies.
Come through. Please step back. Come through. Please step back. Are you refusing to shut that off?
Not going to answer any questions.
Chief Lee, badge 1.
Chief, how you doing?
Good,
Can I
how are
shake
you?
your hand? Think you know about me, right?
Yeah.
They do have my bucket.
You had to get the chief out.
There's my bucket. And they owe me my my Home Depot bucket that I gave them full of pennies. Hey, you know what?
You have your bucket.
I do have my bucket. That's one out of
We're
two.
just down to 26 cents.
That's it, man. If they want to give it to me in the pennies that I gave them, they can. Take them that long to count 26 cents. I can only imagine how long it took them to count $124. Want to arrest me for filming and recording on public property? I'll challenge it with the Supreme Court. All right, everybody. So we're going to go into the Newport Courthouse here. If you didn't see my video in the past, go check that out beforehand. Out here with Breaking the Flaw. Make sure you check him out, like, share, and subscribe. Gonna come back here and get my 26 cents. I do have the receipt. They did accept payment. And get my 26 cents. I guess it was over by that much. And also get my Home Depot bucket, which is $4.48. And if they don't have it, or if they're refusing to give it to me, I will put in a motion to get it. So here we are. And let's get this going.
Can't record it here.
How you doing? Just need to get, I need to get my 26
Don't
cents.
come through. Don't come through. Please step back. Come through. Please step back.
I need to get my 26 cents.
Please step back.
Can I get my property, please?
Please step back. Photographing, audio, and video recording in any area of the courthouse
I just need my
is
property.
prohibited without prior authorization from the presiding judge.
Go ask them.
Please turn off your recording device
Oh,
immediately and
Jesus.
proceed to the clerk's office to obtain permission.
Yeah, I'm going right now.
No, you have to shut that off.
I'm going to obtain permission.
You have to shut that off.
I'm going to obtain permission.
I'm not going to debate this with
Oh,
you.
call the police.
If you refuse to turn off your
Well, of
recording
course.
device, you'll be asked to leave. If you refuse to comply with my instructions to
Uh-huh.
leave, you may be subject to arrest by law enforcement.
Okay. Well, you know better than that. You know what I do. So go ahead.
Are you refusing to shut that off?
I need to get my
Are you
property.
refusing to shut that off?
Do they have my property?
Are you refusing to shut that off?
Not going to answer any questions. Who said I was recording? Can you prove that I'm recording right now? Why are you shaking? You all right? Just give me my bucket, my 26 cents. I'll be on my way. Still getting phone calls? I'll help you out with that. No worries. Go ask for prior permission. I already have my media credentials anyway with you. It's already been signed. Just gonna get my property. Huh? That's all right. I just need to get my property.
No, stay over here.
They're holding my property hostage. Obviously.
We have people here.
Mhm.
Stay over there.
What's your name? Badge number? Guess he didn't get enough YouTube stardom. Can I just get my property, please? Refusing to give me my property.
What property does he have of yours?
You said the police are on the way? I'll wait for them. See what they have to say.
He's gonna walk over.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they?
Could you please identify him?
Oh, look, they took the number down.
Could you please identify him?
It's too late. You already got it.
Yeah, do that.
I already got the phone
You
number
can't do
anyway.
that, sir.
You guys are
Can't
silly.
block people's
You
cameras.
guys are silly gooses.
Stop recording. You cannot record here.
Please do not get my way.
They're illegally recording
No,
in
we're
here.
not.
You may
It's
not
not
want to
true.
do it.
It's a public
No,
building,
it's
dude.
fine. It's fine. He's lying.
Now he's refusing business and service. Incredible.
Yeah, you can't do that either.
Yeah.
Look at him. Do not block my camera. You're violating my rights right now.
Photographing, audio, or video recording in any area of the courthouse is prohibited without prior authorization from the presiding judge. Please
Stop.
turn off your
Don't
recording
touch me.
device immediately. and
Don't
proceed.
touch me.
Please turn off your recording device immediately.
Look at- They're going by script. That's hilarious.
Yeah, please.
They've been told to go by script. Yeah,
I
he's
know
got to
you
go to
do.
court. He's got
Hey.
10 minutes.
He's gonna shut it down because we're exercising our rights. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, see, he don't
It's
care.
not my fault. It's his fault.
No, you won't be in trouble for not being here.
You're lying.
No, you will. As soon as we,
Hey,
you won't.
there you go. You got that. I got that on video for you.
I got
So
it recorded, so
if they put a warrant
They've
out,
already recorded you without your permission.
I don't need
This-
your permission. I don't need your permission. I don't need anyone.
there's no expectation of privacy in public, and I can care less about you. No offense. Don't listen to him.
He's trying to get his money back.
He's
They won't let
gaslighting you.
him. Yeah, you're lying. You can't do that.
Come on, you know that. There's no expectation of privacy in public. Don't try to stir them up, because you have no control here. I'll wait for the police and see what they have to say. Apparently, they don't want to give me my property back, and they're holding it hostage now. Well, there's Newport PD. Oh, look at that. They just drove right by.
That's today's docket.
That has confidential information.
You should probably hide that
Does
now.
not. You can't just leave confidential information out in the open.
He's violating
Do not
policies
get
now.
close to my camera. Are you crazy?
He's violating
Are you
policies now.
crazy? What you
Hilarious.
mean about children?
They owe me 26 cents for my fine, and I want it. And my Home Depot bucket full of pennies that I gave them. Yeah. Yeah. And just to let you know, there's no expectation of privacy in public. He's gaslighting you, trying to stir you up to cause a disturbance. I'm a journalist, independent. Yeah. I got a YouTube channel. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, guys. Been trying to get caught up on stuff here.
How you doing? I'm just trying to get my property back, and they're refusing to give it back to me now, and they owe me some money for my fine, and
Just so you know, we got body cams on.
yeah, cool, nice. Can I have your name, badge number?
Yeah. Officer Sergeant Tedarenko, badge number 3.
Sir?
Chief Lee, badge 1.
Chief, how you doing?
Good,
Nice
how
to
are
meet you.
you?
Here. Think you know about me, right?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Not bad, you.
Yeah, so I'm literally just trying to go in, out, and that's it.
Okay.
What property do they have that?
So they owe me 26 cents. That's that for my fine, and they owe me my Home Depot bucket that I gave them full of pennies. Hey, you know what?
Oh, is this the fine or something like that?
Yeah, so they owe me 26 cents, and they also owe me my property back, which they're holding hostage right now.
Okay. What's the 26 cents from? You overpaid?
Apparently, yeah, it's always good to overpay with pennies rather than under.
You owed them 124, but you had 26 extra pennies.
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
So I'll take that if you
Sure.
don't mind.
Okay.
He's talking about the whole Supreme Court rule. I have a media registration form that's already been signed by Communications. They do have a copy of it. I'm not trying to go into the courtroom. I have no business in there at this point. I just need to get my property and leave. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. We'll go in and try and get that for you if you guys want.
Well, we don't need police assistance to get my property back, man. Just go to the clerks. They know what I'm here for. I tried telling them. That's it.
Yeah. No. So the issue is that they're not going to let you record past the mag.
It's tough.
Well,
It's a
not
public building, and the Supreme Court
It's-
order hasn't even been signed by a judge.
It's restricted access
No, it's
past
not.
the mag.
No,
So,
I'm media registered with the courts.
nonetheless.
So-
Yeah, it's still part of the Supreme Court.
No, it's not.
Actually, we have a copy for it.
Yeah, great. I mean, if you want to arrest me for filming and recording on public property, I'll challenge you with the Supreme Court. But I need my back,
They'll throw
and
it right out.
that's
I
it.
guarantee
It's
you.
not even signed by a judge.
We go to the Supreme Court and do exactly this.
Yeah.
And they don't stop us.
To be honest,
They can't because the state police came to tell them that we have the right to do this.
and that's all on record.
Yeah,
The
that's all
Supreme
right.
Court has never, the state police have never enforced that policy with us being at the Supreme Court, who made that order. You know what I mean? So I don't know why they're trying to do that here.
No, but they can restrict access beyond, because you, and I know you understand this
Yeah.
perfectly well, that there are open public access areas. For
Yeah.
example, if you go into the lobby of my PD, you do whatever you
Yeah.
want in there. We don't mess with
Beyond
you.
that point,
Beyond that
Yeah, I
point,
got it.
you can't.
Yeah.
And this is the same here.
Yeah, it's not,
so
though.
Restricted
prior,
area.
It's not a restricted
It
area.
comes to
It's a
your
security
bucket.
checkpoint. That's all it is. There's a checkpoint.
Oh, here goes my
security
bucket.
officers.
I'm listening. No, I need my 26 cents.
Is it in there?
I don't know. No, it's not.
All right, we'll get your 26 cents.
Why would you need to get my 26 cents?
Because they're not going to let you pass the mag.
So they're gonna.
So we're gonna try. And,
So they're gonna refuse. Okay, all right. I won't go past the mag.
all right, good enough.
Good enough. Oh, so my what?
Or do you have the receipt?
I think so.
It's a lobby.
I had it. I mean, they have a copy of it, but
They're gonna do it all the way.
yeah, no, I get it. Here it is. Sorry.
Perfect. You want the receipt back?
Yes, please. Yeah, yeah. I just need to document all of.
Lee, can you also remind him that he has to identify according to the New Hampshire State Constitution?
Let me take care of the other issue here.
Right, but I just wonder who was touching me with the paperwork and blocking my camera
Oh man.
and restricting me from accessing my public buildings.
I don't care if they want to waste resources and have them get me my 26 cents.
Yeah,
then-
this is what you're doing, sir. You're
But they
wasting
do have my
resources.
bucket.
You had to get the cheap out of it. It's crazy.
There's my bucket. My bucket. My extortion bucket.
Good afternoon, Johnny.
No way. Yeah, guys, I'll put all the information up for the court now that I have their phone number, and you can redress your grievances and petition if you need.
If it was restricted information, you shouldn't have it out in the open. You know that.
They do know that.
I can see it through the window. It don't matter if I'm in here or not. Actually, I'm gonna do that. You gonna block it when I go out there and try to zoom in?
So it's funny how they have cameras, more cameras. You called more guys with cameras to come into a restricted area. That's so stupid.
This is mail. There's my ASCAP. I don't know what that is. This sign says stop. Can I record this? Can I record this sign?
You can't record anything here.
Oh, well, we're doing it.
Here I go. Woohoo!
And look at that. We're not in cuffs like you think we are.
Most certainly can.
This is exactly why I do and we do what we do. See, they're not tyrants. You are. See, he's never met this side of me before,
You know, it's
but he's
funny.
also never asked for it. So now he's getting it.
I love the wording. It says electronic devices are permitted in the courtroom.
Courtroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh.
Is it actually open right now?
No,
It's not. Really? Can I see the docket, please?
no,
Why not?
because it's confidential.
No, it's
Is it juvenile?
not.
Yes.
Okay.
All juvenile.
If it's juvenile, it's confidential.
yeah,
you
it's
know that.
juvenile.
That's all. Don't give me an attitude. I don't
But
need it.
If you have the juvenile dockets up there and it's confidential, don't you think it's inappropriate to put it up there?
No, they don't have it up there. They had their phone number up there that I retrieved, which is great, by the way. Hopefully, you're being nice and polite to those nice subscribers of mine. Appreciate that.
State versus Jose.
If they want to give it back to me in pennies, I'll be more than grateful. If they want to do the work for me, they can. What about the security screen?
Is that confidential?
Yes.
It is.
No, I already got it.
It's weird that you leave it out in the open.
I know. Interesting. So they sent out the chief of police and a sergeant for me to retrieve my bucket, my property, in 26 cents. I didn't hear him on the scanner, so they must have called private to keep it off the record.
You seem skimble or scamble.
He was shaking over there at the when he was reading.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
should've seen
No,
it.
literally, the definition of this is rambling and confused, senseless. So he's skimble or scamble. Skimble, scamble. It's one word.
Skimbles. What are you talking about?
Look right here. Skimble, scamble. And then,
Is that up there or something?
yeah.
Yeah, it is. Chief, I'm kind of curious on how they actually counted the pennies. Like, did they actually count it? Can you ask them?
Yeah, you can ask them.
I mean, since they're not allowing me to do that, you know, like I said, as soon as I got my money and my bucket, I'm out of here.
We're pretty sure it was.
You have your bucket.
I do have my bucket. That's one out of
We're
two.
just down to 26 cents.
That's it, man. If they want to give it to me in the pennies that I gave them, they can. I don't
What if
care.
what if I just give you 26 cents?
I counted.
Yeah,
No, that wouldn't be official.
It wouldn't
But
be.
I
It
actually
wouldn't be
counted
official.
it before he submitted it. He actually had $124.27. So are we gonna have to recount it?
No, I don't think so. Hey, do you have a business card when you're done?
I'm just
Oh,
messing
if you want to give it to me now. Awesome, man. Sarge, you got one?
with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Is the radio like confidential too?
So did you guys get like a 911 call? Was it like non-emergency?
I was just in the PD.
How do you not know? You got responded here. How do you not know?
Yeah, because the dispatcher just said that the court called, whether they
Okay.
called on 911 or not.
You don't know? Okay. Was there any communications involved that you know of? Like radio communications? Okay, because I'm gonna do records requests and stuff. All right. Thank you. So that's Sergeant Dakota and Police Chief
And
Stephen
of
Lee.
course, I lost.
So I got the chief out here. It's been a while since I've gotten chief on my video, but it's always good to get them sometimes. Sue's the head of the snake. He's actually
No, I've gone into court
he's not doing too bad.
hundreds of times without any issues.
Yeah.
Except for that one
It's
time
the
in
select.
Manchester
It's the
when
select few.
They put hands on and slammed me into the door, breaking the door. You
Yeah.
guys love to do that, right?
Yeah, they don't have the balls to do that
Go
either.
into the door and break it because I'm recording, to get physical. So
Did you help them?
their rights. That's why.
Did you help them count?
Can we smell your fingers and see if they smell like pennies?
Oh man, I guess we're gonna do this the hard way, huh? Yeah, I would have been out of here like what, 15 minutes ago.
Oh, for real?
Seriously,
Yeah.
I would have been out of here like 15, 20 minutes ago.
We were like, hey, just let this guy go. He's just doing this. No. Let's cause a scene.
I know. The Supreme Court rules.
Let's also not identify this legality.
It's not even signed by a judge. That's how inconsistent they are.
Sir? Excuse me, sir? Wait, I think I have to talk to him. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Excuse sir. What's your name? You must identify according to the New Hampshire Constitution. Baby talk doesn't work either. Tire talk. Let's go to the tire talk. Sir, you must identify. You must, according to the New Hampshire State Constitution, Amendment 8, you must identify when requested.
Do this the easy way or the hard way. Here's the deal.
Sir, here's the deal. You have to identify, or I'm going to file a complaint against you.
Does it take them that long to count 26 cents? I can only imagine how long it took them to count $124. Oh, look at Looky. All right, what do we got?
They're not going to return your 26 cents.
They're not?
They are not.
Okay.
Apparently, there is a policy about overpayments of less than $5 not getting returned.
Get out of here.
Really?
That's so wild.
Interesting.
So,
all right.
Stay over
Here's
for
some-
$5 next time.
here's
I
some.
just want to make sure he gets
Yeah,
take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, here's information where you can file your complaints about both the overpayment issue and not getting your 26 cents back.
Okay.
And any complaints that you
A
have
complaint? I mean, I could file a motion.
That's fine too. Yep.
All right.
Regarding Judge King's order. So this is the administrative office of the courts.
Oh, okay.
Ask for that to go to.
Yeah, I got all this, man.
Oh.
I got all that. I got all the information. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's on my
Oh,
list.
this was just an extra round.
Okay, so I guess what I'll do is I just need a motion. Can I get a motion?
Just need a blank motion.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'll file a motion and then
Just don't forget your pocket.
no, I came here for that, man.
Was it all pennies or?
It was. Well, it's a couple nickels in there, maybe a dime or two. Yeah.
How long did it take to get that changed over?
I went to my bank.
That was just pretty quick though.
Yeah, I called my bank. They gave it to me.
I've never tried to cash into
Take
that
it.
many pennies.
Well, they have to.
Yeah.
You know what I
just
mean?
didn't know how, like, if you have to call ahead or if you can just
To my bank, usually, yeah, to make sure that they have it. But yeah.
Since you have my card, if you want to send your records request to me,
Yeah.
I'll take care of it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I just need a pen, and then I will file a motion.
You just get maybe these two security officers.
They're not going to.
They're not my employees.
They're not. Yeah.
If any of my officers don't identify themselves, let me
I'll
know
let
and
you
I
know.
will.
I'll let you know.
take care of that.
For sure.
I don't have any authority over it.
Oh, sorry. All right. Well, I'm gonna file this motion. I'll give it to the gentleman here. He'll give it to the clerks, and then I'm on my way. All right.
guys.
Thank you, man. I appreciate. Hey, I appreciate your professionalism. All right. So the sergeant and the chief of police, not too bad. They didn't really give me too many directives except for the Supreme Court order, but we got what we needed, and I filed my motion to get my 26 cents, and we'll go from there. I have to hand deliver this, so legally have to hand deliver it. I need to get a copy of this and then I'm out of here. There's nobody even here anyway. I didn't go through the mag, I went around it.
Same difference.
You can call the police if you need to, Ed. They didn't have much more of a problem than anybody else. Apparently he's going to make a copy himself because nobody wants to come and make the copy. Wow. I know. Complete refusal of service. Nah, he's a good dude. He really is. He's not too happy he's in this situation right now because he's never put himself in it either. So, and he's really not doing that bad of a job. All right, I am gonna take this as you guys have been served with the motion. So, okay, thank you, Ed. Have a good day. Okay. No hard feelings on you. Have a good one. Thank you. All right, everybody. So that's going to be it over here today at the Newport District Court in New Hampshire. They ended up calling the police, obviously, in Newport. All links will be in description. Make sure you go check that out. I did receive my bucket back, my extortion bucket. P.S. A few pennies for your thought.
Let's see. Trying to decide which device I'm going to use to make phone calls and which one I'm going to use to watch the chat. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's see. Here's some contact info for the new timeout links. Got it. I can time you guys out for different lengths now because that's what I do here is I time you guys out. There are channels that do that. What? You said something I don't like? You're in timeout. All right, guys, welcome to the show today. Oh, there's some contact information on the screen there. That's to the court that I've been dealing with since I think early January. That decided that they didn't want me recording in their courthouse. This goes back to Gordon Bennett. For those of you who don't remember, Gordon Bennett was a really bad hearing officer who ended up getting exposed. After I exposed Gordon Bennett, Mercedes Murphy, the chief judge of the 7th Judicial District Court in New Mexico, made a judicial order saying that I was not allowed to come to the courthouse. Now, what actually happened is I published a video. Sorry, my camera moved. Now I don't know where to look when I talk to you guys. All right. I probably should move it back where it was. I published the video showing Gordon Bennett being an incompetent, lying sack of trash. You guys contacted the court to let them know how disgusted you were with his behavior. As a result of you guys contacting them, not me, but you, people who saw what Gordon did, the chief judge, Mercedes Murphy, in Socorro, New Mexico, made a special judicial order that said that I am officially banned from the courthouse because the stories that I've published on their corruption has caused other people to contact them and exercise their First Amendment rights, redressing their grievances. The local sheriff's department, the local police department. I don't know. She's out there, okay? Go out there. Close the door. And we have a toddler joining the stream. What? You don't know where she is? Hold on. I got to find a toddler's mother. No problem. Do you know where mom is? Oh, no. This toddler just needs her mom. Poor thing. Oh, boy. We're dealing with a lot of toddlers on this stream, guys. Sorry about the interruption. But I like that toddler. The other toddlers that we're dealing with, that I've been dealing with for the last few months. What's up? No, she doesn't have clothes on. Go put clothes on her. Now she wants to sit with me. The other toddlers that I've been dealing with for the last few months, I despise. Mercedes Murphy is one of them. What is her name? Murdering Murdoch. This is probably going to be a 2-hour stream, by the way, guys. We're going to go over a lot of stuff here. But the sheriff's department, the police department, everybody refused to arrest me for going to the courthouse and continuing to conduct my legitimate business with them. All the police saw that it was wrong. Not only that, but they've lost their qualified immunity in New Mexico. So they really didn't want to put hands on me. So finally, a couple of attorneys, she's got to be quiet before she can come in. A couple of attorneys agreed to take my case and actually sue the court and the judge, which is pretty unheard of. I've been told for a very long time, James, you're never going to get anywhere with these courts. One thing, they do whatever they want. And number two, you're not going to find an attorney out there anywhere who's going to be willing to sue them for you. That's just a no-no. Can you brush your hair too? She needs to be right back. Ready. Okay, go get ready for the camera, okay? Go get your hair brushed and your face washed, and then you can come sit with me, okay? This is the most off-the-rails live stream yet. Go get cleaned up for the camera. Oh, no! Guys, I'm sorry. We're going to have Blair in here in a minute talking to... You know what? We'll bring her on after we have Blair talk, because that's going to... I love her to death, but that's really going to distract from what we're doing. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Braxton.
I'm full. Gonna go take a massive Gordon Bennett.
All right, we're gonna bring Blair on. So, James, the dad, the most interesting live yet. Oh my gosh, I'll tell you what, and they are so much better to deal with than what I deal with, what we're actually doing a live stream to deal with. I would so much rather deal with toddlers yelling and screaming and being dirty and peeing instead of going to the bathroom, just standing in the doorway and taking a piss. I would much rather deal with all that than deal with the toddlers at the 7th Judicial District Court. So anyways, I finally got, that I'm getting way too distracted. I'm not gonna be able to have her in here. 2 lawyers, actually. People always told me you're never gonna be able to find a lawyer that will sue a judge. It's a good way for them to get disbarred. At the very least, sanctioned, and basically fined a lot of money for going against the perfect, incorruptible system that's incapable of ever being wrong. And not only was one lawyer willing to risk everything for me, two lawyers were willing to risk everything for me. And that is Zach Cook and Blair Dunn. And I talk a lot of trash about lawyers. And I know that a lot of you guys do too. And I think most of you guys know that I don't really believe in this system. And a lot of times, really, all I'm doing is documenting the fact that they give you little to no reason to believe in the system. And so the last time that I had Blair and Zach on, there were people in the comments that were like, "Oh, F lawyers, I get you." But I don't think that people realized at that time how much these two guys have literally sacrificed and put their entire livelihood on the line to do something that they believe is right. I don't think people realize they literally could lose their law licenses and their livelihood over this. And so even when I get really pissed and I'm like, "Yes, screw these people. I'm tired of dealing with them." It's not, and by these people, I mean the court, not the lawyers that have been helping me. And so for those who say, "Yeah, no, F these lawyers," look, I get the sentiment, but have you ever seen lawyers that actually put everything on the line to do what they think, that what they know is right? So I've got absolutely nothing but respect for these two guys. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to call Blair Dunn, who is one of the attorneys on this case. And I'm going to have him explain what's happened with this case since the beginning, because there has been a lot of things happen. And I've told you guys, I'll keep you up to date on everything as it happens. And I just haven't. Part of the reason is because I'm a layman. A lot of the stuff that's going on, I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I'm able to take what Blair and Zach tell me and kind of decipher it to, oh, okay, these guys are continuing to be criminals. But I'm going to bring Blair on to kind of explain what has gone on since we filed the lawsuit. At this point, it's actually in the 10th Circuit of Appeals already. But let me call him up. We'll let him tell what's really gone on. And then we'll go into some videos about some of the things. My case isn't the only one with this court that's disgusting. This court and these judges have been getting away with a lot for a very long time, including one of these judges. A lawsuit just settled in the case where one of these judges ran over and killed somebody. One of the judges that is named on my lawsuit just had a settlement an agreement against her for, I think, like $800,000 or $1 million in a case where she ran over and killed a cyclist. And she ended up being fined $80 for that. She was fined $80 for killing someone. Whereas just a few weeks ago in Albuquerque, someone who accidentally killed someone in an accident was sentenced to 10 years in prison. This goes pretty deep. Let's call Blair. For those who aren't already subscribed to my main channel, James Freeman,
Your party cannot be identified.
I take these live streams and I edit them down to cut out some of my rambling and some of the stuff that doesn't matter as much, and I post that on the main channel. So if you're looking for a short, quick synopsis that's been edited and cut down, this isn't the place. We'll get that edited and up on the main channel within the next couple of days.
Hey, it's Blair.
Hey, Blair, it's James. We're live on the interwebs.
Hey, James.
How you doing, man?
Hey, Charles.
Were you in the chat there on the Big News Network?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I was finishing the pleading on another case.
The name directory
isn't
letting me
they
type
needed
in
to
her
stick
name
it somewhere.
Oh, good. I see this guy in the chat called Liberty Blair, so I wasn't sure if that was you or not.
No, it's not me.
Well, I didn't know if that was her extension or not, but the name directory.
All right. Do you have time now, or do you want to postpone it?
No,
that's how I've been always done
People
it.
are wanting to find out what's going on. I kind of give a rundown on it.
All right. So basically, I just told them that the judge made this order, said I can't come to the courthouse. The reason was because I exposed them for being corrupt, and people called them and expressed their disgust.
Bothering you anyway.
I then informed them that
she holds you accountable for the actions of your peers.
Thank you.
Do we hold her accountable for the actions of her peers?
I told them that yourself and Zach stepped in and were willing to literally risk everything, your livelihood and everything, to file this lawsuit against them because you believed what they were doing was wrong. And that's as far as I got.
Cool. Well, let me give you a little bit of a quick rundown, the elevator pitch on where things have gone. So what you said, of course, was true. The reason the court originally gave for banning you from the courthouse is because they got cranky about the fact that citizens called after you told them they might want to complain about their government. So they called a petition for redress based upon Gordon Bennett's dishonest behavior when you confronted him on that. They've now tried to pivot about that and say that the reason that they're banning you from the courthouses is because you incorrectly, against the rules, came in on that first day when you encountered him and were recording in the courtroom, which I don't think you knew at that time that was a rule. You couldn't do that. And then also the fact that you came in without a mask that day when there was still a mask mandate that required, even though you didn't have to wear it on an elevator or, in the hall, anywhere else in the courthouse, our Supreme Court still believed that somehow it was very dangerous to be in a courtroom without a mask. Even though it was years into disproving that masks did anything, you still had to wear a mask. And so you and Gordon had a confrontation about that. The court is now trying to pivot because they know that your followers calling in and complaining about the way that you've been treated or about the way that Gordon behaved is still protected constitutional petitioning of the government for redress of grievances and speech. So they're now trying to say that of course that you did something wrong, and so they should be allowed to punish you by kicking you out of the courthouse and never letting you come back indefinitely with no due process before they take those rights away from you.
Real quick question. I know you guys put in a lot of work to this spreadsheet and stuff like that.
Just get to say, well,
working
broke
good.
a couple rules
Looks like
at
we're
one
sticking
point.
with it. I did have to add in all the zeros and
we're
stuff.
not going to hold you in contempt, but we're just going to ban you and deprive you of your rights. And so they maintain that.
I'm just curious.
So we've gone
Every
through
week I've been changing the
behaving-
rate in Avianca.
I don't know how else to describe
according
it, but
to the
behaving
bonus rate.
shady
Is
after
that
they've
even
been served
necessary, or
multiple
should I just
times with
leave
copies of
them
the lawsuit.
in Avianca
They're
as the
still
base
trying to
rate since
claim
they're using the spreadsheet
that they can
anyway?
run from service. This is the stuff that they generally frown upon when your average
Shouldn't matter. I shouldn't have to go in there and change it. So just pretty much leave them at their base rate.
Engage in this kind of we're going to hide from service type of thing instead of just addressing squarely their actions and trying to defend them. They're trying to play games with service and argue about that.
Yeah.
And then they are also trying to come back and say that they get immunities for what they've done, even though that we were very careful to point out that they're not entitled to any immunities for what they've done. And you get a question?
No.
But whatever's in Avianca.
Okay.
Yep. Or in the spreadsheet.
So
Okay.
on top of that, at one point, as you're aware, we had a discussion with them about resolving this case, and they basically said, well, you could agree to abide by these unlawful and unconstitutional orders banning you from the courthouses unless you came in only on official business, which they don't recognize you as a member of the press. They think they get to define who a member of the press is, and you're not a member of the press, so you can't come do that. And you had to abide by all the rules, and they would let you give up your case, and you could just go away and do what they say. Right after that, they decided they'd send us a letter to tell you not
this
to
week is
destroy
like
any records.
12.
Which
and then we have
put out a video now
5
trying
people
to
in
say that
overtime.
You intentionally destroyed records, even though very clearly on the video you state that what your practice was prior to that, and of course you've told us as your attorneys you're not destroying anything after that letter came out. You were just talking about what your practice was before.
It was a lot.
Have any case
Honestly, it was a lot easier to
spoiled
change the
evidence,
rates.
even though that's clearly not what you were saying.
Of course, we can't do that.
And so they're now trying to get the whole case dismissed on these grounds of
you gotta go click.
qualified immunity and spoliation of the evidence and lack of
Yeah,
service.
I can't edit the rates. So.
We're the judges, we're above the law, and the case should just be dismissed because we're.
All right, I'm just curious.
How dare the court
I'm
ever
just
try
gonna
to
keep
tell?
doing
How
it the way
dare
I
the
was.
federal court ever try to tell us what to do?
Because
Because we issued these orders, and they're trying to say that there's some sort of a judicial decision. I mean, it's really very astounding
I understand.
and unfortunate that
I
these bullies
understand.
in black robes think that they can just do whatever they want, and that
Hey
even
man,
when
I'm just
they're
going through
under
the motions.
scrutiny, they're still trying to go after you.
I'm not happy about having to come
and
in
to
tomorrow
make
either.
you the
with
bad
this
guy
text
for
message
their
bullshit.
lack of ability to follow
Seems
the
like
laws
a
and the
violation of my
Constitution.
privacy big time. But I mean, I understand.
That's the elevator of kind of where everything has happened and what all has gone on. But it's really an astounding level of.
I mean, what judge thinks that's
contempt and
constitutionally right
disregard
to
for
be
the
able
law.
to do that? That's people's personal
Okay.
phone.
And
That's the
so
judge that
it-
signed it is the one I'm
initially,
pissed at.
they never even responded to the lawsuit, right? They were in default at one point, right?
They have been in default, yeah. They finally filed.
I mean, I
motions
don't
to
ever
dismiss
put
today,
anything in text
you know,
that I don't care about really
they've
anyway. I just
consistently misrepresented
think
the
it's
court,
bullshit.
even though that we delivered copies pursuant to New Mexico rules of procedure.
I have,
Mexico
and guess
law.
what?
We
I broke
delivered
my phone last week,
copies of this
and
to
when
the
they
for
shipped me
the
my
court,
replacement. I
on
had a
June
choice
9th.
when I was transferring everything
And
over
so
to this
they've-
phone, whether I
and
just
then
wanted to
we've
bring the
had
last
it
3
delivered
months,
again
last
since.
6 months,
We've
or
had it
all.
served multiple times.
I chose all.
Same goes for we've delivered copies to the AG's office on multiple occasions, and so they still insist that somehow.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's me. I always
They were
keep
never
record
served,
of
so
every
they were never
communication. You know, that
required
not
to
for
respond.
this reason, but for a personal
which
defense.
is really
reason,
pretty
you know.
crazy and pretty brazen, right? Like they expect
But
everybody
I was
else
like,
to follow
actually
their
stood there
rules,
and thought about
and
it
then
for a
they
few
don't
minutes
follow
before
their
I
own
did.
rules.
I'm like,
And that's what
okay,
this
all
whole
52,000
case is really
messages.
about,
Go ahead.
Right? The whole, I mean, to me, that's
Right.
what it's about. The whole case is about. Wait a second,
All right,
I
man.
came in and
I
followed
appreciate
the
it.
rules.
I'll
The
see
only
you
rule I
tomorrow,
didn't follow was not wearing a mask.
All right,
you know, and immediately walked out when I was told, hey, you either put it on or get out. That's it. And the entire rest of the time, they just refused to even obey their own written rules. And I don't know. I personally have had little to no faith ever in this system working out. But
well, it's been a deterioration. I will tell you that this is the apex of that deterioration that I've witnessed. I mean, when I started practicing law 16 years ago, it was an entirely different world. And I think you can trace a lot of what has happened, and certainly in terms of government accountability across the country, but you know, especially in states like New Mexico and California, where you know, qualified immunity as it came out from the Supreme Court, you know, those cases starting, you know, really in the 90s and then into the 2000s, but then really taking off in 2014, 15, right in there. Like you really saw this really steep decline where the government said, oh, okay, well, we can do whatever we want because unless somebody got caught doing this before in the past exactly the same way, we get to essentially go ahead and do it. And then the federal appellate courts kind of froze everything at that point in history. And so there's no way of, like, for instance, there was a case that just went to the New Mexico or to the United States Supreme Court that came out of New Mexico where they had to define whether or not it was an unlawful search and seizure when a cop shot somebody in the back. And so the point was that really seizing their person? You stick a bullet inside of them, is that really seizing control of their person in terms of what we already have for law in terms of qualified immunity? And that was actually argued in front of the Supreme Court that was a question. And so you've really seen this, and you're kind of receiving the brunt of this on the side away from the police, right? On the side of free speech, on the side of petitioning your government and press, because that body of law really hasn't been explored because you didn't generally have courts or agencies really interfering with speech in the way that now all of a sudden in the last 2 years that's become more of an issue. I mean, we've seen the censorship out of the federal authorities using social media and going in and they all understand, right? The only way that you can control a population is to take away their voice. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest way that you do it. So that's what this really comes down to. And the judiciary, the last thing the judiciary wants to have is members of the public calling up and criticizing their actions.
Right.
They just can't stand it. They're the way I would describe it in terms of a joke for folks to kind of understand is, do people know what the difference between God and a judge is? And the difference is that God doesn't think he's a judge.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So this is actually in the 10th Circuit of Appeals already too, right? And
part of it is the denial of your injunction is up in the 10th Circuit.
Okay, and it was basically an injunction to say, look, this order, an injunction against the order saying I can't go to the courthouse.
Right. It was to stop the enforcement of that order, keeping you from going into the courthouses.
All right. Okay. All right. Cool. I appreciate you coming on because I don't know. You understand what's going on a lot better than I do. I'm just a layman. So I appreciate you coming on.
I will tell you this, and I know you're going to make this plea to your folks that are listening in, but now is the time for all voices to be heard. It's the time to speak loudly and mindful, be peaceful and be polite as to the best that you can, but it is time to be loud.
All right. Yeah. I appreciate it, Blair. And
All right, man.
And I can't tell you how much I really appreciate you and Zach helping me out too. So
Hey, we're honored to help you. So just stick with us and we'll stick with you and we'll get where we need to go.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Interesting.
I saw Merb in here a few minutes ago too. And Merb said, I wish that my opposing counsel would live stream about their cases too. And, typically people will always tell you not to talk about a pending case. And that has always been something. I wish all my opposing counsel parties would live stream about their cases, says Merb East. And typically that's the way people do things. When we're in litigation, we don't talk about it. But at the point where you realize that the entire court system is completely corrupt, I think I told people from the beginning, I don't necessarily believe that I'll win this case. That's not even necessarily my goal. My goal is to document the case. My goal is to show the world what's going on while it's going on. And again, the only reason I haven't done as many updates as I should on my own is because I honestly feel like I'm just not competent enough at the legal process to describe what's going on in a way that does it justice and tells you accurately what's going on. I can certainly explain it all to you as a layman, though, which I think most of you are too, other than Merbeast, who is a first-year family lawyer, who knows everything about all law. He's been a first-year family law lawyer, by the way, for at least 5 or 10 years. But I can explain it to you like a layman, and I can tell you that this is what the case is really about. The case in court is about the fact that my rights were taken away without due process. That's what the actual litigation is about. That my rights were stripped without due process through this order. But what this is really about, and all of you who have followed this from the beginning know what it's really about, is it's about shutting me up and shutting you up. It is about sending a message to me and sending a message to all of you that if you have a problem with the way that your government is operating because they refuse to obey even their own rules, that you need to shut up and sit down. Okay? You need to just shut up and take it. You need to bend over and spread them and just take it. That is what this is about. The only thing I ever intended to do in there was document and show what's going on. And Merbeast can be a douchebag. He sure can. He can also, when he's trying, he can also share some valuable, relevant information. But I mean, his perspective, whether he's a douche or whatever he is, his perspective is shared by most of society. That's society's perspective. Litigation is supposed to be a secret. Why? Why? If we were truly seeking the truth, then if I'm wrong and all of you are wrong, then let that truth be shown. But I mean, for people who are truly seeking truth, it doesn't need to be a secret. Litigation doesn't need to be a secret. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't be. And I'm sick and tired of it being, especially all of this stuff is public too. Merbeast can go and pull all of the filings himself and spend hours talking about all the details of the case. So what this is really about is that I was documenting and exposing their court for being corrupt. And that's what it's really about. And that's why, even though the litigation is really about my lack of getting due process, I don't want the real point to be lost. The real point being, we need to be able to keep an eye on our government. There is no reason that court hearings should be secret. And as a matter of fact, I think this is a great time to go into New Mexico Supreme Court General Rule 23-107. Now, first off, I'm going to go ahead and say that in a lawful society with 3 different branches of governments that check and balance each other, I don't really believe that the courts should be making up so many rules. But I believe that the legislature has given them the power to make rules, and that essentially they look like legislation to me. That's what this looks like. You can call it whatever you want. General rule, code, whatever you want to call it. But it's legislation. Just because we slap a different name on it doesn't mean it's not. And so essentially the legislature said, you can make your own rules, court. You can make your own laws. You can legislate. That's what they told the court. And the court, now here's the thing about, let me change the size of this. Sorry. The thing is that this rule is actually pretty decent. What happens in the courtrooms should not be secret. But anybody who's been in a courtroom knows that there are some things, for example, that are even listed in these Supreme Court rules where it should be reasonable for a camera not to be in there, such as a child sex victim testifying. I think that a lot of people would agree it's quite reasonable. No, if we're going to have a child sex victim on the stand testifying, I think we should take the cameras out of the courtroom. I mean, and that's something that can be talked about. You may agree, you may disagree, but I think that what the point is I think that there are some reasonable restrictions, but that's not what these courts are doing. They're not talking about reasonable restrictions. They're talking about keeping everything that goes on in that courtroom a secret. The broadcasting, televising, photographing, and recording of court proceedings in the Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, District Courts, Magistrate Courts, and Metropolitan Courts of the State of New Mexico is hereby authorized in accordance with the guidelines set forth in this rule, which establishes safeguards to ensure these types of media coverage shall not detract from the dignity of the court proceedings or otherwise interfere with the achievement of a fair and impartial hearing. Now, that summary right there is something that I will never disagree with. Should it all be publicized? Yes. Should we, in my personal opinion, should everybody in the audience have a cell phone camera and be, I mean, there's got to be reason. I agree with some reasonable restrictions to keep order and decorum and to make sure that whatever's going on doesn't interfere with people getting a fair trial. That's part of individual liberty too, is that people who are accused need to get a fair trial. We can't just be convicting people without fair trials. And so if something that we're going to be doing in there is going to take away from that, then by all, but already they already verbally say that the court hearings and all these things are public. All hearings are public. Any one of you can attend any hearing at any time. They are supposed to be public. The thing is that now we've entered a new age where, back in the 1800s, there was no possible way to video record and publish what happened in the courtroom. Therefore, we had a court recorder in there, somebody who was doing their best to write or type everything that happened in the courtroom so that it could be published for all of the public to see. This isn't a new idea that what happens in court proceedings should be public. This is not a new idea. This is the foundation of a free society with a limited government with checks and balances. This is a foundation of it. You cannot allow your government to operate in secret. This isn't new. What's new is the technology available to us to make that happen. Once upon a time, the most accurate way to record a court proceeding was for a court recorder to type it with a typewriter and put it on the public record for anyone to pull it and see it whenever they want. But ladies and gentlemen, technology has evolved past the typewriter. The courts, however, have not. This isn't supposed to be secret. Discretion of the court. Live coverage of proceedings shall not be limited by the objection of counsel or parties, except that the Supreme Court reserves to the individual courts the right to limit or deny coverage for good cause. For good cause. What does good cause mean in their legal mumbo jumbo? I don't know. Maybe we can get Zach or Blair to come back on and explain to us what these criminals might call good cause. But I think that if most of us were being reasonable too, we could say, okay, there may be some good cause. There may be some good reasons not to publicize a specific hearing or trial, at least at the time. Now, even still, it should still be recorded and documented. And once the trial, I mean, there may be some reason why, while the trial is going on, publicizing it could taint the outcome of it. In which case, already courts use gag orders to say, hey, you know, we don't want to taint the outcome of this. So the gag order lasts until the trial is over, though, at which point everything can still be published later on. Media coverage in the courts is subject at all times to the authority of the judge or judges who control the conduct of the proceedings before the court, ensure decorum and prevent distractions, and ensure fair administration of justice. Control conduct of the proceedings of the court. That's the only one that I might question. What do they actually mean by that, though? Because it's kind of like a disorderly conduct. I won't even get into it. Most of this, I believe, is pretty reasonable, but sometimes there's language that makes me question, wait a second, does that open up for a judge, whether it's in writings like this or whether it's in legislation that police enforce? I often question, wait a second, does this open it up to make it so that the judge or the police can literally deny anyone anything just because? And is that what A means? I sure hope not, but that's why all right. The court has sole and plenary discretion to exclude coverage of certain witnesses, including but not limited to victims of sex crimes and their families, police informants, undercover agents, relocated witnesses, and juveniles. Sounds pretty reasonable to me. What do you guys think? Sound like some pretty reasonable restrictions? I think so. Neither the jury nor any member of the jury may be filmed in or near the courtroom, nor shall the jury selection process be filmed. I don't know about that, but, you know, we can have that debate. The point is, too, though, I was, when I started realizing how corrupt this court was and that I did need to get into the courtroom and record, I started making requests. The way that this rule requires you to make requests to be able to record in the courtroom, to be able to record hearings and proceedings that I needed to record to publish for all of you to see. And so while I think that some of this stuff may be up for debate a little bit, I wasn't trying to debate that. I was willing to obey every single rule here and simply just, anyways. Judge can forbid coverage if the coverage is may have a deleterious effect on the paramount right of the defendant to a fair trial. We just talked about that, though. Audio pickup broadcast. Okay, so we'll move down. You guys can go and look up this entire thing and read it yourselves if you want, but New Mexico Supreme Court General Rule 23-107, where the New Mexico courts decided that they were legislators and wrote laws. Then it talks about the decorum and dignity of the court. Courtroom and the proceedings must be maintained at all times. I don't disagree. Now, here's the thing, too, though. The decorum and the dignity of the court has been completely tainted by what's going on right here, right now. as far as I'm concerned, and as far as anybody who's looking at this from the outside in, I don't think that the actions of the court diminish the legitimacy of the court. Nothing I do diminishes the legitimacy of this court. What the court does, however, does diminish their legitimacy. It calls into question their legitimacy and their authority when they choose to abuse their authority or so-called authority. So, I mean, you want to talk about order, decorum, and dignity of the court? They have destroyed their own dignity. And when this lawsuit first got filed, I really thought this is going to go to a federal court, and they're going to look at it and say, wow, this is really embarrassing for the court, for any court system in the United States. This is really embarrassing. So while we certainly don't want to tell this, give this guy a win because he's a troublemaker and blah, blah, blah. Certainly we don't want to keep dragging this out, because what an embarrassment this court is to itself. What an embarrassment to the alleged dignity of the court. But they seem to think that they can continue doing what they've done for the last 100 years when there was no cameras. Just rule against them, push them away, and most people previously, they didn't have access to a newspaper. The newspaper wasn't going to publish their story. We didn't have platforms like this to tell what was going on. Now we do. Yeah, I do have you hear the cock crowing out there. So they, not only are they still stuck in the past with not realizing that video cameras need to be in every courtroom, but they're stuck in the past and realizing that they're not going to stop it. Period. End of story. Throughout this entire process, they fail to realize, never mind. We'll get to that later. But we're not in an age anymore where these people can just say, nope, we're just going to push you away and you're going to disappear. Those days are over. Here was the only this was the only part in here that I had a direct problem with when I read it the first time. Part D. The media shall maintain high journalistic standards regarding the fairness, objectivity, and quality of coverage under these guidelines. The government doesn't get to decide what is fair, objective, and quality, because that's the whole point of government not being able to govern free press. That's the whole point of a free press not being controlled by the government, because North Korea also has a free press that's governed by rules of they have to be fair, objective, and have quality, fair, and objective coverage. Meaning, what that actually means, though, is the government gets to tell you what the narrative is. The government gets to tell you what narrative you must publish. And if you don't publish their narrative, you're not being fair and objective. That's what this is about, because we've also got somebody else out here. While my right to record in these courtrooms has been denied, we've been doing a number of things that will never, ever, ever be part of this court case. Because to be honest, fuck their court. But we've had a number of different journalists request and be granted the privilege to record proceedings in these exact courtrooms that they're denying me the right to record in. So no matter what the court decides, we're still going to publish that a number of other people were allowed into the courtroom to record. Why? Because they didn't have the same narrative that James did, or so they thought. Little did they know these people are actually working directly hand in hand with us. But they're publishing different narratives to see if the court is discriminating based on viewpoint, which they have. So even throughout this whole thing, while they're denying me the right to record, they've been granting other people the right to record. These pieces of dog shit think that I actually care about the actual federal lawsuit too. I don't care about this federal lawsuit goes to a judge and asks a judge to rule that a judge was wrong. Do you realize the insanity in that? This lawsuit goes to a judge and asks a judge to rule that another judge is wrong. Have you ever gone into a police department and filed a complaint against a police officer? And asked a police officer to rule that a police officer was wrong? You see the insanity in this idea, right? Why am I here? Why am I in the court? They're not going to kick the cameras out. Every single part of this has been documented, and it's going to continue to be documented. It's never going to stop. And I'm just the tip of the iceberg. Ever since this started, almost everyone in this county that's been to court has recorded almost every one of their hearings discreetly. They're not going to stop this. The only thing they're going to do is prove how hard they're willing to fight to keep secrets in the court. That's all I'm here for, is to show that. Unless otherwise agreed upon by the court, equipment and personnel within the courtroom or hearing room shall be limited as followed. These are pretty reasonable restrictions. All equipment shall be operated behind the rail. Very reasonable restrictions. It talks about not more than one portable television camera operated by not more than one camera person shall be permitted at one time. Only natural lighting can be used. Cameras shall be quiet and shall be placed and operated as unobtrusively as possible within the courtroom at the location approved by the court. The camera shall be in place 15 minutes before the proceedings begin. In the cases where I requested to record, I was at the courtroom 30 minutes to an hour. I was at the courthouse 30 minutes to an hour early to make sure that I set up the camera wherever the judge wanted it set up. These are reasonable restrictions because think about it, in high publicity cases, everyone and their mom, like for example, let's talk about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case, right? Everybody wanted to be in that courtroom. It was just highly publicized. It was a highly public case. Everyone wanted to be there personally, physically, and anybody who could record it wanted to record it. It was good content for the internet, not just for news outlets, but even for not just for news outlets, but even for entertainment outlets. It was content, but the court can't just let 30 cameras come into. I mean, you got limited space, right? And again, you know, you don't want to turn it into a complete and total circus where everybody's running around and taking pictures with flash photography and just being completely disruptive. So all of these rules seem to have been written by a very level-headed, reasonable human being. Yes, we need to be able to document what goes on in the court. No, we don't need to turn it into a circus. But guys, people trying to record in the courtrooms in the 7th Judicial District Court in New Mexico is not what's creating a circus.
YouTube, I guess, yet.
Judge Mercedes Murphy is creating a circus. The judges and the court clerks are what's creating a circus. Their inability to obey and follow the law and their extreme desire to cover up everything that's going on in their courtroom discredits everything that they are or once were and creates a circus. It's not the cameras that create the problem or the distraction. There's plenty of reasonable rules put in place to prevent that. Not more than 2 audio systems, not more than 2 still photographers. Tape recorders may be used by members of the media as long as they do not constitute a distraction during the proceedings. So obviously, so there's something in here about how you're supposed to submit your request to record. You're supposed to, I don't know where it is now, but you're supposed to let them know 24 hours ahead of time in writing through the court clerk that you, in it, let's see, let me see if I can find it. The privileges granted by these rules, not that. The privileges granted by these rules may be exercised only by persons or organizations that are part of the news media. So I guess that's why the judge is trying to say that I'm not news media. But again, how can the court get it so wrong that they're going to come in here and say only the news media can do it? How can even the court fail to realize what the court rulings are on what news media is? News media, according to the courts, is anyone who is gathering information with the intent to disseminate it to the public. That it doesn't even matter if you have never, ever disseminated information to the public. If you're somebody who doesn't have a newspaper or a YouTube channel or a Facebook platform where you publish news, and you've never done it before, but if you walk in today to gather information with the intent to disseminate that information to the public, you are, by United States law, news media. You don't have to have done it before. The first time you intend to do it, you are now media.
Sure, they think it's normal because they've been allowed.
But for this filthy witch, I've got multiple recordings of her, but she's been recorded so many times without me being there too. She has no idea. I have so many recordings of her. I may actually expose one of the recordings I have of her today, just to show them, you know. No, we've really got it. But there's a recording of her claiming that that I'm not news media and that I've never proven to be news media. The judge who's banned me from exposing her filth and corruption. The privileges granted by these rules, and for them to have that kind of arrogance to believe that it's a privilege for the press to disseminate the information about what's happening in your court system to the public. That is a privilege that your gods in black robes have granted unto you. They have granted that. I mean, the arrogance behind this.
No,
they clearly don't work for you or me anymore. They are our rulers. They are our masters. And I'll tell you what, when more people start to figure that out, that's why they don't want it. That's why they don't want things getting out. That's why they want it to be kept a secret. Because over the last 10 to 20 years, more and more people, myself included, that used to lick the boot of the police and worship them, have now realized by video evidence that shows beyond a reasonable doubt that police are not always right. As a matter of fact, they are often very, very wrong. All of a sudden, this undeniable video evidence has changed a lot of people's perspectives on the executive branch, have changed a lot of people's perspectives on police and whether or not they are or aren't capable of doing wrong. The court knows what's coming. It doesn't matter what they rule on any of my cases. They know what's coming. And it's the same thing that came for the police. They're going to start being exposed. Video of what's going on in their courtrooms is going to start being published more and more and more. And eventually, more and more people are going to start realizing that for many of them, there's nothing honorable about anything that they're doing. And they know that. And that's really why they're fighting me so hard. If they didn't have anything to hide, do you think that they would be fighting? I don't think so. Why would they? Why would they? When you really see the bigger picture, though, and you understand this isn't about me, This isn't about Clash with Bao, who tried to record in courts 4 or 5 years ago and ended up in prison for 6 months in solitary confinement for it. This isn't about any one of us. You can run us off. You can run the Gavin Symes of the world off to Mexico. You can throw me in prison. You can rule against me in every court case. You can shoot people. You can kill people. You can throw them in prison. But every goddamn thing you do is now being publicized. By all means, keep doing it. Because you can't change what's coming, because you are the evil. I'm trying to find where it says about the rules and procedures of like 24. You're supposed to notify the court clerk in writing 24 hours ahead of time that you're going to be coming to record. And it's not, the way it was worded was not that you are asking for permission to record. It's that you are informing them that you will be recording as per their rules. There, it's right there. Shall notify the clerk of the court at least 24 hours in advance of coverage of their desire to cover the proceeding. Each trial judge in the judge's discretion lengthen or shorten the time for advance notice for coverage of a particular proceeding. The decorum and dignity of the courtroom proceedings must be maintained. So blah, blah, blah. You're supposed to let them know 24 hours ahead of time. And the only reason that they're supposed to deny your right to record, not privilege as it's listed down here. The only reason they're supposed to be able to deny your right to record is for these exigent circumstances listed before.
Is it intense?
Undercover police, testifying, child sex victims testifying, reasonable restrictions. So anyways, there's the rules for recording in the court in New Mexico. Now, here's the thing too. Don't get too deep into their rules and legislation, okay? Because remember, one, the court, I think, has been granted way too much power in making rules. We have got to get back to a society where we as individuals question what's right and wrong, rather than looking to our government as our moral code. It's becoming more and more clear, and people like me and others will continue to document and show you guys that your government doesn't have any kind of moral code based on any type of principle whatsoever. They are literally so out of control, they will write anything on a piece of paper and call it law and call it legislation and enforce it. And if you don't obey it, they will enforce it up to including death. And this includes everything from recording in the courtroom to not using your turn signal, to things that actually are legitimate laws, such as you're not supposed to murder people.
That's true.
However, when you get corrupt people into the system, and you start believing that legislation is law, now I can write down on a piece of paper that yes, murder is illegal. That's wrong. That's a violation of law. But if a police officer shoots somebody in the back, he gets qualified immunity. And now that's the law. A really cliche example to help you understand why it is never, ever, ever a good idea to look to legislation. I think it's a good idea to look to it to understand what they're going to argue. But it was once illegal for a slave to run away from his owner. Now, there's a lot to unpack there. First off, it was illegal for the slave to run away from his owner. Well, that implies also that it was illegal for the owner to own a man. I mean, there's a lot going on there. And there were plenty of laws about being able to catch slaves, bring them back. A whole list of laws under this immoral law in the first place that quite literally violates the individual liberty of another human being. If you're going to use legislation, I think it's still a good idea to look at this stuff, because if we want to live in a moral, in a civilized society, are we going to need to have some rules that we all agree to abide by? Yeah, sure. We don't shoot people in the back. We don't kill people
unless you have a badge,
who are no threat to us, who haven't taken life, liberty, or property from us. There are definitely rules that should be held in our society, but we have gotten to the point in this great experiment where the rules are quite literally violating laws. The rules are quite literally giving certain pure evil people, and let me show you an example of a pure evil person. We are getting to the point where the rules are quite literally empowering pure evil people to do evil. We are quite literally, the rules have gotten to the point where quite literally the criminals, the people who do the
Government
harming.
loves us and wants us to be happy.
Thank you, David. We're quite literally getting to the point where the criminals are now above us. The criminals are now the ones who make the rules, the ones who execute the rules, and the ones who make judgment on the rules. And if you haven't seen it yet, then just stick around. I can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, not just by my stories, but with video and audio evidence of the criminals doing criminal things. You guys want to see another criminal? There's one.
I have gotten a couple, but I don't have the alert overlays set up yet.
Now let's talk about this criminal. This criminal is listed on the lawsuit. She denied my right to record multiple times. I certainly, some of you may have already seen the emails that I sent. I don't remember where they were published, of me respectfully requesting to record some very specific court hearings that pertained to stories that I was covering here on my main channel, on my main James Freeman channel. And this one right here was denying my right to record. But let me...
Gotta agree there, Anna.
Let me show you a little story about one of these judges that is on the lawsuit. What was her name? We call her she's known in the area as Murdering Murdoch. I'm trying to remember her first name because everyone around here in Torrance County calls her Murdering Murdoch. And so it's so hard for me to remember her actual first name. It's Murdoch. What is it? I'll find it in a minute. It'll come back to me.
Praise our brave and wise Blue Line heroes. Celebratory gesture.
Thank you, David.
It's hurtful, I agree.
Judge Murdoch. What is her name? It's Murdering Murdoch. Judge Murdoch.
So now you're scaring people away, Jared. I mean, I never say anything about your beliefs.
How many of you guys have been following? How many of you guys have been KRQE following my channel long enough to remember the last ride? How many of you have been following my channel long enough to remember the Mountain Air Police Department? We're going to watch this coverage from KRQE News. 152,000 views. This was published 1 month ago.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon.
And this tells the story of how she murdered how she killed someone and got away with it.
Peaceful fall day.
This is one of the judges that refuses to allow cameras into her courtroom. This is one of the judges that's listed on the lawsuit, who's fighting tooth and nail against transparency.
Into deadly chaos. What began as a peaceful fall day in 2019.
That's not a whole lot of love
turned
behind
into
that statement
deadly
earlier,
chaos
Jared, though.
and heartbreaking tragedy.
Not sure where that came from.
The last ride was a Larry Barker investigation involving one man's horrible death, another man's painful injury, and a
I'm not telling you
high-ranking
what to
public
do, but
official.
I do believe in
Tonight,
apologies in
Larry
order for
Barker
something
is
like
back
that.
with a new development in the case. Could this be the final chapter? Here's Larry's follow. Follow up to the last run.
Today, this remote stretch of pavement along Highway 60 is quiet. But back on a fall day 4 years ago, mile marker 204 was ground zero for heartbreaking tragedy. That Saturday afternoon, all hell broke loose, and lives were changed forever, just outside Mountain Air in central New Mexico.
What happened that day was horrific.
You know, we were kind of like two grown men acting like a couple of kids at times. As a friend, he was a really great guy. We
No, I
shared
agree.
interests
Apology is definitely in order.
sports, in films that we liked.
Carl is a retired machinist. Billy worked as a National Monument Park Ranger. For Billy and Carl, cycling was a passion. At least twice a week, the experienced riders would tour Mountain Air's back roads. September 21st, 2019 would be the last ride.
He called me Saturday morning and he said, I feel like I need to get a little workout in.
That's not much an apology.
I said, well, do you want to go for a hike? He said, no, let's just go on a little bike ride.
They rode west of town, stopped for lunch at a nearby church, and then headed home along Highway 60. Billy was in front, Carl behind. 12:45 in the afternoon.
Where's your emergency? Right outside of Mountain Air. There was two bicyclists and I hit him. I clipped him with my car.
A black SUV traveling about 45 miles an hour strikes both cyclists. The impact launched Carl into the brush. Billy was flung 60 feet.
They're both laying on the ground. I see one of them laying on the ground. One is breathing, I believe. The other one is not. He's not moving.
Paramedics and sheriff's deputies rushed to the scene.
We're going to be here a while. We will be here a while. Tell me what happened, sir.
We were riding up, and suddenly, boom.
Where are you, on the side of the road, middle of the road?
Side of the road.
Okay.
Someone didn't see us, I guess, and pulled over. And how's Billy, my friend?
Not too sure yet.
Is he okay?
Yeah, they're working on him.
In fact, Billy Weinman was dead. Carl Baumgartner was airlifted to Albuquerque with multiple injuries. The driver of the SUV was 43-year-old Shannon Murdoch.
There was two bicyclists and I hit him. I clipped him with my car. They were on the side and I couldn't get over and I clipped.
She more than clipped him. She effing nailed him. She plowed over him.
Murdoch
Jared, I don't know what's come over you, man.
Sobriety test.
All right, who remembers the
We're
Mountain Air
allowed to have our
series
beliefs
with
in whatever
Officer
we
Brent
want,
Woodard
but
with the Mountain Air Police Department that
like-
kept brutalizing
like the
people,
things you're
breaking
saying,
into
man,
houses
it's hard to
illegally,
swallow.
throwing around old women. Guess who this is? Guess who investigated this scene? Brent Woodard. At the time, he wasn't working for Mountain Air Police Department. At the time, he was working for the Torrance County
Yeah,
Sheriff's
I understand
Department.
what you did, Anna.
There were
You
a
gave him
lot
an opportunity to,
of,
and he
of dirty
refused
things
to.
that were done in this investigation. That at least that's what
It's true. I gotta say, I'm very
the people in
disappointed.
this area believe. There were a lot of dirty things done in this investigation, including some things that were not done
Not
completely.
very godly.
And Brent Woodard was right at the helm of it.
Deputies say she did not appear to be driving under the influence of alcohol.
Deputy Woodard finally resigned after being exposed for destroying so many people's lives. So I hope that this is some of the reasons too why I don't do it as many follow-ups on this. I need to do more live streams on it because some of these stories that I've been covering over the last 2 to 3 years since I've been here are so deep and so intertwined that when you start to put all of these people together, you start to realize there is literally a
Well, I agree
mafia
in the whole love thing
of people who control all of Torrance County and a lot of the
Right.
areas around here in New Mexico. And they do anything they want, anytime they want. And they always
You shouldn't have
get
to
away
do that,
with it.
Chopper.
And anytime that something goes wrong, you can typically find that they're all connected in it together.
After being read, Murdoch was ordered to perform a field sobriety test. Deputies say she did not appear to be driving under the influence of alcohol. After being read a Miranda warning, Murdoch invoked her right not to speak with deputies about the crash. Now, Shannon Murdoch is an expert on legal rights. In Torrance County, they don't call her.
I'll also tell you that the reason I stopped covering a lot of things is because I realized I'd probably get killed if I kept covering some of the things I was covering. No joke.
Ms. Murdoch.
Are the parties ready to proceed?
They call her Your Honor. You see, Shannon Murdoch is a district court judge.
So, what happened that day? Well, we know weather was not a factor. The sun was overhead and the pavement was dry. The bicyclists were wearing bright clothing, and because there is no shoulder, they were legally riding on the right margin of the roadway. And there is no evidence to show Judge Murdoch tried to avoid the riders.
Front end damage to the SUV indicates it plowed into the bicyclists at full speed. Christy Chavez is an eyewitness. In a statement to police, Chavez says prior to the crash,
We all have
she saw
moments.
the SUV weaving
You
in
just
and
got
out
to
of
think
traffic.
about
Judge
some of the
Murdoch
things you're saying.
refused
And I
to speak with
understand.
police investigators about the
That's why I
fatal
don't take
crash.
any
Her
psycheds
only
anymore.
explanation came during the
I just
911
can't.
call.
And did you not see them when you were driving?
That also means that what I say
no,
is
I didn't see them.
I have to.
And then when I did see them, I couldn't get over.
Following a state police investigation, prosecutors declined to file criminal charges. Insufficient evidence, they said. The judge was slapped
Imagine that. Can you believe that?
with a traffic ticket. She pleaded no contest and paid $82 in court costs.
There you go, guys. We're going to show you another video in just a minute where a woman recently was in an accident. Certainly some negligence involved, but a woman recently in Albuquerque, just a few miles from where this happened, was in an accident where someone unfortunately passed away, and that one was just sentenced to 10 years in prison. You negligently kill someone in an accident, you get 10 years in prison. Judge murdering Murdoch, oh my God, I forgot her name again. Somebody put it in the chat. As a judge, you run somebody over and kill them. It's $82 in court costs. $82 for a man's life. That's Miss Murdoch. When do we decide enough is enough? Shannon Murdoch, thank you.
However, this is not the end of the story. In 2020, Billy Weinman's family, along with Carl and Samantha Baumgartner, filed a wrongful death civil lawsuit against Judge Murdoch. That case was settled for almost $1 million. According to court documents, Shannon Murdoch, quote, agrees that she negligently operated her vehicle, thereby causing the death of Billy Weinman and serious injury to Carl Baumgartner. Shannon Murdoch
Coins aren't
was
going to do
personally
it,
liable
Jared.
for
Besides, you can't give that much.
$50,000. And because on that fateful day, she was returning
You
from a
apologize. It's
speaking
behind us. Let's
engagement
move on.
to drug court graduates, a judge ruled her employer, the 7th Judicial District Court, was, quote, vicariously liable for Shannon Murdoch's actions to the tune of $750,000 and another $200,000 to cover Carl Baumgartner's medical expenses. The 7th Judicial District Court, which includes Socorro, Sierra, Catron, and Torrance County, disputes the ruling that Judge Murdoch was on duty at the time of the crash. The court has appealed the $1 million judgment to New Mexico's Court of Appeals. A ruling in that case could take a year or more. Today, Carl Baumgartner has...
So basically, they won the lawsuit, I guess, but then the 7th Judicial District Court, headed up by this criminal, has appealed that. Finally, the family gets something after their loved one was killed. I think it was 4 or 5 years ago at this point. Finally, something has been done, and still very little to no consequence for the killer herself. And this piece of trash says, no, we can't.
Damn right. All
we
you
can't
women
let
are
the family have anything.
Except for the wife. She'll beat my ass.
Has mostly recovered from his injuries. Outside their mountain air home is a touching memorial dedicated to their friend, Billy Weinman. Billy is survived by his son, Matt, daughter-in-law, Melissa, and granddaughter, Rosie.
Well, he was one of the most intelligent and funniest people I'd ever met in my life. Like, he had made me laugh my whole life. He loved being out in nature. He loved long hikes, and he loved bicycling, like, through really beautiful areas of the country.
The world seemed like it turned upside down when Billy died. He was just really, really special, and
Pirate booty,
missing out
any
for
type
him
of booty.
not being here with us on Earth.
Larry Barker, KRQE, News 13.
Not how you would have done it. You bundle things right, and that's...
These are the type of people we're dealing with here, guys. We created government.
Don't apologize.
Imperial.
No need to apologize to me for anything, guys.
We created governments and laws because we knew that there were going to be people
Not a
in
woman,
our
number
society. Let me bring some of their pictures up.
Number two, I
We
believe
knew
everyone
that
has a
there were
right to their
going to be
feelings.
people in our society that
I don't have to
just
agree with him,
wouldn't
though.
be able to abide by some simple rules of respecting the life, liberty, and property of others. We know that's inevitable. In every society, there's going to be people who will not respect the life, liberty, and property of others. Therefore, we created laws and governments to help deal with these type of people in our society. The scum of the earth in our society, the bottom of the barrel trash of our society. We created laws and government to deal with them. Now, as with almost every government ever created in history, we are at that final stages where those criminals, those bottom of the barrel pieces of trash who heartlessly and arrogantly take life, liberty, and property from others without due process and without just cause now rule the government.
I know you're sorry, man.
On every level. That is where we are. Make no mistake, people, you aren't going to get justice in court. I'm not here.
Better lick boots or magic sky cloth won't freedom.
Thank you, David. I'm not here to try to convince you guys that if you learn the legislation and the laws and you learn all of the legal procedure, that you can fix something, because you can't. Because you're not dealing with people who operate under law and order. You are dealing with criminals. All right? And so trying to use law to deal with criminals, that's like when an armed robber walks into your store, points a gun at you and says, "Give me all the money," and you point to the sign on the wall that says gun-free zone. The criminal doesn't care. That is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. I think I will probably leave you with that. My case against the court is still going on. Part of it is in the 10th Circuit of Appeals. Do I expect to get a win? No, of course not. I really don't. And I'll tell you what, guys. I'm not actually glad to say that. I'm really not. Because I would like to live in a society. I wish I didn't have to sit here and tell you your government is an illegitimate criminal organization. Because that's an uncomfortable truth, not just for you, but for me too. I don't want that to be true. I don't want that to be the truth of what my children, I have 5 kids and 1 on the way. People who think that I do this type of thing and show this and expose it to create chaos, disorder, Why would I want to do that? I have 6 children that I care about very much. And while my time may not be very long left here, I hope that someday in the future, maybe even generations from now, we can start to realize that why do we keep creating these organizations where we give criminals so much power? I wish it wasn't true. I wish I could tell you these systems are legitimate.
Okay. All right, guys,
I'm not going to lie to you like
pay
these
attention to
people
you
will.
now.
I'm not going to lie to you. Why do I keep bringing children into this despicable world too? Well, my kids don't go to public school either, so they're not being indoctrinated with all of this stuff that teaches us, you know. I love my neighbors. I love the people around me. I do everything that I can to respect their life, liberty, and property. And when I have certainly accidentally infringed on other people's liberty and property before. And that does happen.
I don't know why
we've all got to be
anymore.
accountable to that. All of us. Accidents are
Look
going
at
to,
that
whether
on
it's a
screen,
car accident or
should
you
set
know,
up an
you
alert.
made a bad choice. I mean, that stuff happens.
know how you
And-
do it
and,
with,
you know, to some extent. Oh, okay, well,
StreamYard,
just
though.
make restitution though. You've got to make it right. You've got to make people whole when you take away from them. And that's what living in a lawful society means. Even those of us who are doing our absolute best to try to make sure not to tread on other people. The truth is we will accidentally tread on other people. It will happen.
Lazy upbringing for sure.
You won't be paying attention one day. You change lanes and clip somebody in the lane next to you. You know, whatever it is. We're all, even good people who are trying to do their best are going to harm people, but that's what the system was supposed to be there for, was, you know, to make sure that when we do harm someone, there's a process by which arbitration is done and people are made whole. Anyways, I'm rambling on now. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am going to do one more stream following this one that is going to be a lot lighter. It's going to be very short also. We're going to watch a video that I personally have not watched before. D says people going to jail doesn't make anything right for anyone. Yeah, this whole criminal justice system has really just become a system, a revenue generation system. The only people who win are the criminal justice system. Most of the time, when you commit a crime is when you take life, liberty, or property from another person. And in most instances, what I see is the criminal justice system is the only one who gets paid or gets anything out of it. And most of the time, the victim is not even made whole through the system. The system is the only one who gets anything. We're going to do a quick stream after this, a super light one, since this one was a little... We discussed filthy criminals. It's only going to be about 10 minutes long. I'll see you on the next one.
All right, I have one set up ready.
Out here, and that's Peggy. Peggy's always hungry. Just a little bit of Down syndrome is all. Out here trying to find a good bank. No corruption, please. What is he doing? Now that's suspicious. That's a sheriff deputy. There's another truck. Oh, what the hell? Where's their seat belts? Oh, there's also a sexual predator walking on the sidewalk. So Grandma's going to have to keep an eye on him. You better not be snitching. Don't snitch, ma'am. Please. I have warranties, ma'am. She's a snitch. What the hell? Grandma does not approve of this. Oh, it's a typical snitch. She looks like a lump of laundry. This woman right here is a grade A snitch. And Grandma hates snitches. Oh, she's tattling. She's certainly tattling. Tattletale. I love living in the land of the free where the snitchers run rampant. Oh, maybe she's offering some sexual favors. Judging by her slutty behavior, it's probably the case. You better not be snitching. That's a bad women's. Grandma doesn't like snitches, ma'am. No snitch, no please. Now that was inappropriate. I see you, darling. Grandma sees you. They're acting very suspicious. Inappropriate. Hey, stop recording. Oh, they're recording me. Hey, stop recording, please. Please, ma'am. I have warranties. Please, stop recording. I have warranties, ma'am. Now, what is she doing? Taking photographs of Grandma? She'll be uploading that probably to Pornhub or something. Stop flipping me off and recording.
Yeah, unfortunately,
that's a buster.
given most spy type.
That women's must have been jealous
that
that Grandma's better looking and older. And Grandma's always horny. Knows all about the USSR. Grandma was the one that defeated them in the Cold War. Now he looks happy. Oh, handicapped.
Same as two Apries.
Oh, speaking of such, Grandma has the funds. Hey, stop taking pictures. Hey, stop that, please. Grandma's checking out Heritage Bank out here just to make sure it's not corrupt. Grandma needs to deposit the money. It's just looking for a good bank is all. Just doing some investigations. Oh, there's a women's in there. Grandma could barely see through that window pane, but there is a women's in there, and she looks ripe and ready.
Autistic.
Oh, she's waving. I did see a wave. Oh, Grandma thinks she's beautiful. Unless if she's snitching, then Grandma hates her. Grandma will hate her guts. What are you doing? Oh, hey. Just investigating, don't worry. Nothing to worry about, darling. You weren't supposed to see Grandma yet. Don't worry, darling. We're just getting some intel.
With banana at her when she used to do her.
Just gathering some quick intelligence, and that's about it. Oh, she's gonna snitch. Grandma feels it in her moist bones. Grandma has a deposit. She knows I have some money. I might not have that much time left on this earth, but Grandma has some money. And Grandma needs it deposited. I'll let you eat her cookie. Grandma has special cookies. This woman's in here's being naughty. Oh, Grandma doesn't trust her. She looks like a snitch.
Okay, I guess I can use a different window and it'll pop into that window.
How we doing? Grandma will get to the bottom of this. Specializes in the crack. The butt crack. Now, what's going on in there? What is he doing? Oh, there must be some weird things going on in this building. Luckily for Grandma, Grandma has the binocular. Oh, Grandma sees it all. Are you thirsty? Grandma has a little baggie of Coke and some Mary Janes. Oh, what the hell is this? How we doing today, sir? Just conducting an investigation. Trying to find a good bank to bank at. Has some coins. Grandma has a deposit.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, just investigating some corruption. Don't worry about Grandma, you know. You weren't supposed to see us.
Okay.
but we're just out here doing some quick snooping and investigating. And Grandma does want to bank with you guys if you're good. So
Do you guys just want to keep moving along?
Grandma can't. Grandma's hornless.
Okay.
And her hips hurt. They have been opened up a lot, sir. Grandma can't lie, a bit rusty, but it is what it is.
Maybe you guys just keep moving along, all right?
But Grandma's a hornless, sir.
All right.
Sir, I have a question. Grandma will give you a bag of Mary Jane's if you give me the bank vault pen. Please, sir, please. Grandma has to deposit her moolah. I hope there's no corruption going on here, sir. Please. Now, this is insane. Now, this is very suspicious behavior. Oh, they did a drug handoff is what Grandma suspects here. Oh, this is some malarkey. Cut that out. Something's fishy, and it's not her under region. Something's going on in this building and facility. Grandma will get to the bottom of things. Straight down the crack. The truth is located inside. Now, what are you looking at? Grandma's conducting an investigation. It's going to see if they're corrupt here or not. Grandma has some coins she's collected. It needs to start an account, but only if it's not corrupt. Smells like a fish fillet. Corruption. Just doing a bit of investigating is all. Don't mind us. Oh, just tying my shoe. Oh, get that right in there. Oh, Grandma's hips are hurting after that one. Grandma will tell you that right now. This investigation's not over. One sheriff deputy. You better not have snitched. You better not have done it, young lady. No, no. Oh, they turned their lights on. How we doing, darling?
Hey, guys.
How we doing?
What we got going on today?
Oh, just checking out a bank. We need a good deposit coming in.
You need what?
We need to deposit our monies.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
you have to investigate where you invest.
Sure.
So we're trying to see how corrupt they are, and maybe we'll get some details.
What are you finding out?
They're pretty corrupt. They're snitches. I mean, this is some malarkey. Grandma doesn't approve.
Okay. Oh, no, that's fine. You
Take the pictures.
guys got any IDs on you?
Oh, Grandma just has a D. You know, I do have a press credential.
Okay.
Would you like the press credential, sir? You would? Oh, certainly, sir. Oh, Grandma has a bunch of goodies in here. We got some Tampax. We got some lube. We have some
I can
meat.
do it.
Oh, Grandma's actually
Right.
going to be moving here probably about next week.
A window.
Grandma wanted to go to Grimes because she's pretty grimy and naughty. So we have the every information you need there. So
all right,
we do have the information, sir, and Grandma loves it. We're just going to do a bit of investigating and snooping around.
They didn't know if you were protesting something or whatever, so they,
Oh, I mean,
they just called us.
oh, understandable. She said, "What are you doing?" And I told her, and then she ran away. She's being naughty women's.
Yeah.
But Grandma does need to find a good bank because we do have the coins. Grandma also has.
Anything from us?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay.
You know, it is good seeing you boys out here. The boys in blue, but you're wearing green.
Yep, that's right.
So Grandma doesn't understand this. You can hide in the grass and camouflage a bit better. Grandma loves it. They have to be doing some naughty activities. And we're upset they didn't invite us. Does not like Midwest heritage. They're snitches. Grandma digs a ditch to bury the bitch. No snitching. How we doing, darling? Grandma loves it. How we doing? How we doing? Oh, he must be just notifying the bank that Grandma's about to come and open an account. Oh, they're very helpful out here. It's just squatting down a bit. getting deep and girthy with it. Oh, Grandma sees all the information this way. Have a good one, sir. Grandma loves it. Grandma loves it. The
Okay,
drive
got
of
it set
nerd,
up.
gentlemen. The drive of nerd. Yeah, get the hell out of here, please. Oh, Grandma loves it. What a splendid day for Grandma and Peggy. Hey, shut the hell up, Peggy. Yeah, you're a tyrant. Suck my dick. Okay, that's it. Yeah, right.
I've been looking for a way out. I'm sick of feeling like I'm way down. Stuck in the middle of a large crowd. I just gotta fight and climb my way and then break out. Adrenaline in my...
Officer safety is officer cowardice.
Is it officer cowardice?
Yes, it is. You're my servant. I'm not your servant. You understand that? That's how it works.
It looks like real Americans are getting sick and tired of roadside piracy operations taking place under the color of law.
No, you're mad because you got to be. You think you need to be scared when you're the one with the guns.
Scared.
No,
You
I got
don't
my
wanna do what
cruise
I tell
on.
you to.
I got my cruise
Give
on.
me your driver's license and your registration and insurance. Because
How's
it's
that?
officer safety. You're obstructing my
Officer
traffic
safety
stop.
is not a law.
So I want you to pull the front of him
Officer
so that
safety
you're
is
not
not a law.
behind me.
Can you quote me the law for that? The code?
I'm not going to pull you the law for that.
Then there is no
a
law for that.
order.
For officer safety, there is no code.
I don't care.
Just like-
I don't care.
just like-
Why is it
What's
that
the
you won't do
problem?
what I tell you to?
You're a public servant. You know what that means? That means you serve the public. Your feelings got in the way. Well, guess what? The law's on my side. Shut the fuck up and get a hold of your supervisor. Quit being a little bitch. Don't let your ego let you fuck up.
Damn. Welcome back to Here's the Deal. Today we've got Tenderfoot Dog-Faced Pony
Corey.
Soldier, Northern Nevada Trooper W.
Sweet
Boyer,
Corey.
badge number 443, getting all bent out of shape because he can't seem to find a law that supports his desire to give an unlawful directive to a guy who knows a little bit about the law. Eyes on Washington and a coworker were traveling across the Nevada desert, minding their own business when Trooper Boyer pulled his buddy over. Eyes on Washington stopped behind the trooper, waiting for the traffic stop to conclude. But badge number 443 didn't like it and had something to say about it.
Well, I'm with him. We're together. Just do your job. I'm with him. What? I'm good right here. Are you pulling me over or both of us? I'm fine right here. You're not pulling me over, right? Are you pulling me over? Why?
85 miles an hour.
No, we're not. I got my cruise on. You're on camera too.
Okay.
So
Driver's license and registration, please.
you're lying. But you're pulling him over, right?
You and him both.
You just told me you were pulling him over, so.
Yeah. Well, he was going 87. You were going 85.
No,
Since you
I
don't
got my
wanna do what
cruise
I
on.
tell you to.
I got my cruise
give me
on.
your driver's license and your registration and insurance.
Seriously, what law is that? You're going to have to give me your ID because you're not doing what I tell you to do.
No,
Since you
I
don't
got my
wanna do what
cruise
I tell
on.
you to.
I got my cruise
give
on.
me your driver's license and your registration and insurance.
Well, you got to give me a minute for the registration, but here's my license. And you realize that how can you see my speed when he's right in front of me?
You're following him. So here's what I did. I have my front radar
Uh-huh.
on him. He was going 87. As soon as he passed, it went to 85 on you. I'd never stop the radar.
Uh-huh.
That's the way it is.
Do you have a printout of that?
Now,
Or
when I
picture
make a
that,
traffic
prove that?
stop, if you don't do as I say by pulling to the front of him,
As you
by
say,
being
is
behind
that
me,
lawful?
I'm trying to make
Is that a
sure I have.
lawful order?
Yeah, it is because
How's
it's
that?
officer safety. You're obstructing my
Officer
traffic
safety
stop.
is not a law.
So I want you to pull the front of him
Officer
so that
safety
you're
is
not
not a law.
behind me.
Quote me the
So that
code
I
for
can
that.
make sure that I
Can you quote me the law for that? The code?
I'm not going to point the law for that.
I'm not going to point a law for that.
Then there is
a
no law for
lawful
that.
Order. It is a lawful order.
There's got to be
on
a code
traffic
for it.
Stop.
There has to be a code for it. For officer safety, there is no code.
I don't care.
Just like there's no code for public safety.
In the feeble, scaredy cat mind of Officer Boyer here, his safety trumps
try
more
something here.
constitutionally protected rights.
I don't care.
So if I do this, share that, then do a test.
John donated $28. This is a test donation for $28.
Hey, works.
And he doesn't care that there's no law that says that.
I don't care.
See? Because he specializes in feelings enforcement.
For officer safety, there is no code.
I don't care.
Just like there's no code for public safety.
Why is it
What's
that
the
you
problem?
won't do what I tell you to?
Why don't you just be a good boy and do what I tell you?
I'm with him, okay? It's not safe for me to just pull up ahead when
I don't exactly go to the front
I'm
of people's
already
vehicles
pulled
because
over.
if you had a gun or something like that, you could always.
What are you so scared of?
What do you mean? What am I scared of? That's the way we maintain our
You think
officer
everybody's
safety.
out to get you?
That is the way we maintain
Why do
our
you guys
officer
always
safety.
think
I don't know who you are. I don't know
your
where you're
officer
coming from.
safety issue is ridiculous? You realize that? You guys have like one
You're
of the
ridiculous because you just
least
won't
dangerous
cooperate.
jobs.
You just won't cooperate.
I don't have to cooperate because you didn't pull me over. You pulled him over.
Where's your registration and insurance?
The work truck, so you gotta bear with me here. I don't know why you gotta get so mad about it. It's just I'm with him. We're on a road trip delivering these two trucks. So what's the problem with me just sitting back here waiting for you to do your job?
May I ask you to pull the front with him?
It's not safe for me to do
You
that.
just don't want to do it.
when I'm already pulled over.
That's the issue. You just don't want
No,
to do what I
because
ask
it's ridiculous. There's no reason for it. When I'm already pulled over.
You're
I
mad
mean,
because
are
you
you
are
that
pulled
scared?
over because I pulled your friend over.
No,
That's
you're
why
mad because you gotta be you think you need to be scared when you're the
I'm
one with the
not
gun.
Scared. That is how we maintain our officer safety. If I do all my traffic stops in every different way possible.
Officer safety is officer cowardice.
Is it officer cowardice?
Yes,
That's
it is.
fine.
Have you
Because
ever
you
been trained
don't
as a
have,
police
my
officer?
job is more dangerous
Have you
than
ever
your
been-
job.
Is it?
Yes, I
Well,
climb
don't even know who
towers.
you are or what you do.
I
so
climb
why could
cell
I even
towers.
verify that?
Are you?
Where's
are
your
you?
registration and insurance?
I don't know. You're gonna have to give me some time. It's a work truck, so. There's registration. There's the insurance.
Stand by.
You got a supervisor?
1 second.
Do you? Hey, actually, is your body cam rolling?
Body camera is on.
Yeah. What's your badge number and your name?
I'll give that all to
I
you
need it
on a
from
card.
you. No,
I'm
you
gonna
can
give
you
it.
can verbalize it.
I'm gonna give it to you.
It's the law. You're supposed to verbalize it.
I'm gonna give it.
Can
I'm
you
gonna give
verbally
it. All I have to
identify
do is
yourself?
provide it to you. That's all I have to do.
Verbally.
I'm gonna explain your citation
Someone
to
that
you.
has vision
This
problems
is your violation.
is
You
the
have vision
reason why.
problems?
Anybody that has vision problems is the reason why you're supposed to verbally
Do
identify.
you have
it.
vision problems?
It doesn't matter if I do or not.
Okay.
It's for anybody.
I don't know about that.
You know
but
that.
Anyway,
Yes,
I'm gonna
you
give
do.
you this. The violation's there. That's your total.
What's
For
the
Wills
violation?
Justice Court. The violation is for speed.
Oh,
We're going
what?
85 and a 70.
Huh.
And they give you a violation citation for
Okay, what's your
80
name?
and a 70.
What's your name and badge
You're
number?
right down here.
What's your name and
Name
badge
and
number?
badge number,
Are you
right
gonna
down
fail to
here.
identify?
I'm not going to fail to identify.
So identify.
I'm providing you the information
Identify,
to you.
please. Verbally.
Now, the Wells Justice Court, the phone number's right there. And
Verbally
I give it till this
identify,
phone-
please.
I give it till this day
Otherwise,
here
you're
to
not a
take care
cop.
of the citation.
If you don't verbally identify, you're
I'm
not
gonna
a
give your
cop.
options and your instruction on how to pay out a contest. Whatever you choose. My
Who-
information
Who's
is
your
down here.
supervising officer?
Huh?
Who's your
My
supervisor?
information is down here. I'm providing that information to you.
Who's your
There's
supervisor?
information. Have a safe day.
Yeah. Who's your supervisor, asshole? Who's your supervisor? And you didn't verbally identify. What's your name and badge number? I need you guys to verbally identify. We're not going to play these stupid games.
Doc, where's an
Either
assistant?
that or give me your card. Both of you. And it's not a request, it's a demand. I need your name and badge number or your card. That's your job. You guys just not like following the law? You're out here trying to enforce laws and you're not even going to follow the law yourself? You're not following the law. You're not verbally identifying yourselves. By not doing that, you're not cops. You realize that? Not verbally. Yes, it's a huge problem in this whole country. You know that. Don't play dumb. Yes, you are playing dumb. Look at the condescending look. I'm not condescending. I'm demanding your ID. Verbally. For anybody that might have business.
It may be a law wherever he's at, though.
That's the reason for it. You know
Is
that.
it- Massachusetts has a law.
Thank you. Okay. What's your badge number? 371. Thank you. How about you?
That's funny, Chopper.
Boyer. And what was the number again? 443? Okay, why was that so hard? I didn't have to. No, I didn't. Was it a lawful order? If it was, quote me the law.
Yeah, something like that. I mean,
Quote me the law.
we're all different.
Quote me the law. You didn't pull me over, you pulled him over. No, it's not. Obstructing is a physical act. A physical act, not verbal. Don't play dumb. Really, you can let go of your ego. It makes things run a lot smoother. If you're courteous, I'll be courteous back to you. If you're an asshole, I'm going to be an asshole right back to you. There ain't no law against that, and you know it. First Amendment. You guys got a supervisor? What's his name?
Supervisor's name and phone number right there.
Okay, can you, how long would it take him to get here?
He's not working today.
Yeah, bullshit.
I guarantee it.
So
I can get you another supervisor that comes all the
who's
way
your
from Elko.
supervisor right now that is working?
He is my supervisor for this district.
his name
I
on
can get
there.
you another
Who is
sergeant
working right
from
now?
Elko. Can I talk? I
Who's
can get
working
you
right
another
now?
sergeant
Can
from
you answer the
Elko.
question? You're my servant. I'm not your servant. You understand that? That's how it works. That's how the
Give me a
law
second,
works.
I'm going to get you another number.
How about you just call him out here? Because this is ridiculous. An hour and a half. Really? Wow. Is that really? Wow, you guys are funny. You realize there's cops getting fired all over the country for this kind of shit. Losing your fucking pensions, losing your job, even going to jail. Qualified immunity is going away. You realize that? I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure isn't it already gone in Nevada? You guys out here are acting like you're the fucking boss of the road, but you're not. You're public servants. Law enforcement, not feelings enforcement. Your feeling about me being in your way when I wasn't is your problem, not mine. I don't have to move just because you don't like me there. I mean, if I'm wrong, quote me the law, the code. And that you can't do that tells me that I'm right and you're full of shit. No, I'm just trying to get you to give me a straight answer. And you don't want to do that. Yeah, quote me the law that tells me I have to move and you don't like me there. I mean, you wanted to waste my day, so let's waste all of our days. Since you want to fucking think you're Billy Badass. You're a public servant. You know what that means? That means you serve the public. That means I don't have to fucking move out of your way just because you want me to. I wasn't in your way. Wasn't keeping you from doing your job. Your feelings got in the way. You can't do that. That's not law. You're law enforcement, right? Huh? Well, guess what? The law's on my side. You don't think so? Then quote me the law. You can't. Dude, you've had like 30 minutes to fucking tell me the law, and you can't. The specific law. Yeah, quote me that specific law, the code.
Thanks for the follow,
Hey,
intro,
there's no law that says I have
Vinage
to fucking back away from you. Just chill
on
out.
Twitch.
Look, I got no weapons. I got nothing on me, and the traffic stop is over. So shut the fuck up and get a hold of your supervisor. Quit being a little bitch. Quit being a little bitch and just do your job. No, yeah. Don't let your ego let you fuck up. Control your feelings before you fuck up. Talk to this guy. You're obviously being, cool-headed about the situation. This guy needs to be checked because he obviously thinks that that he's the boss of the road, and he's not.
Just as a reminder, this other cop may seem cool and polite, but cool and polite tyranny is still tyranny.
I have a sergeant coming from Arco. It'll be about an hour and a half.
I don't have that much time. What's his name?
His name's Sergeant Matt.
Can you write it down?
Yeah.
And he's working right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys know you can't do what this guy's doing. I mean, me and that guy, we're transporting both of these trucks together. So, of course, I'm going to stop. There's no law that says I can't stop behind him to record as he pulls the guy over. He didn't pull me over. That in no way is obstruction. Me telling him, no, I don't need to go anywhere, isn't obstruction either.
His name's Sergeant Matt McLaughlin.
Do you know his badge number?
His badge number is 4267.
Is that H?
Yeah.
H4267?
Yep.
All right, yeah, just talk to this guy. I mean, you
good?
Can't do that shit. Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Okay.
Thanks
All
for
right.
being cool-headed.
Okay.
They don't rule the road. They serve us. They're public servants. They're supposed to serve us, not the other way around.
And yet, public servants continue to act as tyrannical masters. I'll leave the link to Eyes on Washington in the description. If you visit him, let him know Here's the Deal sent you. If you want, become a channel member, grab a hard-hitting conversation starting shirt. The most important thing to remember, though, is tyranny is afoot and freedom is dangerous. The only thing more dangerous is not having freedom. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share this video with everybody you know, and I will see you in the next video.
Did you sing? I don't remember if you ever sang for us. Oh shit, West Side was live. She's not still live, is she? Oh, we're waiting. We're waiting. 20 minutes late. She must have accidentally set up a stream. I keep missing Val. 3 o'clock in the morning, really?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 law enforcement officers, all for a man with a camera. Who
Who are you first? I work here. Who are you? You recording?
Yes, I'm just taking some pictures and video. That's correct, ma'am. Who are you?
Who are you? Obviously, I work here, sir. Please identify yourself.
This
Yeah,
should
no
close
problem.
technically, so.
Oh yeah, maybe you should close it. That's
Yeah,
great.
I should, yeah. My camera
one too, since we'll be even here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you currently working, Nicole?
I do.
You're currently working?
Yes, I am.
You're talking about, this is a heightened time in our country. Sure, that may be. But that doesn't mean that everybody's suspect.
Tell you about Awaken CBD. Why do I want to? Because many people have had their health, wellness greatly enhanced, challenges overcome using CBD. I consider it to be one of the more powerful, potent supplements available on the market. I like it for many things. One of my favorite things to use CBD for is my stress. I mean, you look at the world, you read headlines, you stay halfway informed, and good luck having peace of mind. There's a lot of stress, and not to mention from our personal lives, whether it's finances, relationship stuff, not enough time, stress. It comes after us. It can be easy to be riddled with anxiety or just like an on-edge mind. But I like to do everything in my power sensibly to combat my stress so I can feel happy, have good peace of mind. And by the way, I think the more we reduce our stress, the more effective we are at our mission. And life is just simply more fun. And CBD is something I use to help me do that. Also helps me get a supreme night of sleep. And Awaken CBD, it's a brand I started. We're using only organically grown CBD. The quality testing, assurance, potency, third-party testing for purity and potency, it's all through the roof. I'm so proud of what we've put together. If you would like to give Awaken CBD a shot, I would be more than honored. If you're looking to reduce your stress, if you're looking to feel better with different challenges in your body, if you're looking to sleep better, I'd be honored if you gave us a chance to earn your business. And you can
What does it
check
say?
out at Awaken.
It's like it's the same thing it says on his shirt. Freedom isn't free.
Once again,
It's merch. He's wearing his merch.
soft, intriguing voice.
I actually like his perspective on a lot of things. He is a statist, just like most of the
Before we
conservatives.
sign off here, I got to the bottom of it. Does Biden have a body double? They've got to be. You've seen the pictures. Look at these pictures. I'm going to show you these pictures. There's the fucking chin. That's an unsolved mystery. Got to get to the bottom of that. Maybe next week. But here, look at the chin. Or I'm sorry, the ears. His right ear. Whoa, unattached earlobe. Okay, some people have unattached earlobes. But now look at his right ear in this picture. It's fucking attached to his shitty neck. Look, it's attached to the neck of a corrupt liar. But this one is unattached. What? These are the type of photos that led a lot of people to suggest, like, yeah, they're using a body double. These fucking soulless, deep state lying bastards. They'll do anything.
We have one in Ohio too,
Now,
which
I
I
do agree.
pretty much
They'll
professed
do
I wasn't going to be voting, but
Yet after
to
my
try and do
research, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the first conspiracy
allow
theory in the past 5
abortions
years.
up until the moment of
that
birth here in
ain't
Ohio.
true. And
I'm
I
all
say that
about
with a heavy
your
heart.
body,
I
your
wish it was
choice.
true. It'd just be more entertaining.
No.
It would make things make sense.
There's limits to
But
everything.
first off, before I show you the irrevocable proof, you have to consider, like, oh, if they're using an actor to replace Biden, wouldn't they use an actor that displays a little bit more physical and psychological competency? Like, would you? It's like, oh, dude, the real Joe Biden's decrepit. We have to use an actor so the American people don't find out. But your actor is falling up the steps of Air Force One every day. He's shaking hands with ghosts. He's not knowing where to go when he's leaving the stage. He's saying these rambling, incoherent sentences. You trying to hide someone's physical and psychological degeneration by using an actor who displays physical and psychological degeneration. There's some holes in that whole theory. But getting to the bottom of this, I did some research, it's in here. I feel like I'm doing a JFK research. It says CIA cut his ear off. Here you can see a picture of Biden's left ear. It's on the left side of his lying face. And you can see his left ear is an unattached earlobe. Okay. And
Maybe you got it sewed on.
here you can see a picture of his ear, which is on the right side of his lying face. Pull that up. There we go. And you can see his right ear is attached. Left earlobe dangles. Right earlobe is attached. Okay. What's that mean, JP? Well, it means, it means when you see pictures that are like espousing the theory, like they're using a body double, look at his earlobe, it's inconsistent, it's a different actor's face. When you see pictures of his right earlobe being unattached, what you're actually looking at is a picture of his left ear. And they've just reversed the picture. It's like if you're doing a story on Instagram for some weird, creepy reason, like it shows everything in reverse, like your right side of the face appears to be your left side. I'm
You want to play what? Oh, okay, sorry.
sure that's what's going on here. And it is disappointing.
There's an abortion debate going on my wife's Facebook page.
Right earlobe attached. And here we see left earlobes. Debunked. Never thought I'd be out to debunk conspiracy theories. It's like, no, I like it. I mostly like conspiracy theories, and I want them to be true. In the light of truth and freedom, that's exactly what we like to spread here. And by the way, couldn't do it without you. As we conclude, thank you for being on. Thank you for all these comments, y'all crazy, amazing people. Yeah, I see a comment, they're showing both ears. So yeah, they photoshopped his left ear on the right side there. So don't try to disprove me disproving things, okay?
So what is the most dangerous city in the state of Nebraska? In fact, one of the most dangerous cities in the United States. Well, it's right here in southwest Nebraska. And the name of that city is called Max, M-A-X, Max, Nebraska. Now you might wonder why a small city would be a danger to the state of Nebraska and to the United States. Well, first, you got to go back into history. About 120 years ago, the city of Max started up when the railroads came through, and every 8 miles they had to put up a water tower to keep the trains running so they didn't explode running steam and fire. Be that as it may, Max was born about a mile east, but then they had to move it down here because it was right at a corner, and they tipped the train over on that corner, so they moved it down here where it is now. You'd say so? And when that town started, they did one very important thing, though.
On the link, Anna.
And that important thing is they did not incorporate the city. Now, how important is that? Well, incorporate means you're going to be a corporation. Don't matter whether you're private or government, you're a corporation. And a corporation can best be summed up by me telling the story about going out to Walmart one day. Cook, and the old walked up to the manager. I saw him, and I said, "Sir, looks like you're going to be getting more of McCook's money because Wheeler's, a giant store at the time, went out of business because of Walmart coming to town." And they said, "We don't want more of McCook's money, though," that old manager said. "We want it all." Well, so it is with every corporation. Be it private or government, they want all of your money. So here in Max, Nebraska, they found a better way to do it. And they did it without being incorporated. They did it without government. So how did Max survive and grow without government? Well, pretty simple. The women of the town started a club. And that club did all sorts of money-making events. They saved up enough money through the years to buy this piece of ground to make it into a park.
Hang on.
Whether or not it's fact or if it's just allegations, and I would publish a story for you based on fact. Well, no, you would still have your attorney. My victims reach out with their attorney. I know, I'm not saying you would, I'm saying I would do that for you.
Right. And we're here if you have something that you ever need to report or would like to report
We're
to
not
us.
scary people. We're
No.
people who are trying to do good for others.
We care about
That's what we do.
everyone.
You know, and we are cordial in these places. And I do not appreciate being treated the way that I was treated by that staff member. And I wish you would identify her, because that's the first step to accountability, is accepting it. And you've yet to do that. Yes, because she is a clerk's employee, she is an employee of the
All
government.
these people that have been calling my office and threatening and calling us all kinds of names and been threatening to call her at her own home and do all of that.
I will step
Let
out.
me ask this, how many people are in there?
We have 543 in here.
543 people can vote right now. Guys, would you all stop calling if she was to accept accountability right now? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you would call anyway.
I'm not doing that because when that video gets shared all over the world.
It's already on the line.
It gets shared all over the world.
It's happening now.
All kinds of people call us from all over the world.
Those are the people. So if you want them to hear your side, right now's the time. You're live.
Absolutely.
It's still not gonna happen. I'm not gonna give her name.
Well, I can step
I've
out.
been told.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I already know who she is.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see
Okay.
if she'll be accountable.
I've
All right.
It's not gonna
been
happen.
told by legal not to.
All right, so when can I expect to receive my videos?
Well, as I told you in the email,
Mm,
I sent them off yesterday to Frankfurt.
Okay.
Now, when I sent them off in the queue, I noticed there wasn't very many, so maybe it won't take very long.
Hopefully that's a good thing.
And so hopefully I did request a November 10th date, so I'm hoping maybe November 10th I'll have them back.
Okay.
Then when I get them back, I have, because he reports everything that's on that day.
Can Frankfurt not send it directly to me in the email with you? Thread me in?
Well, they're gonna send me a CD.
Oh, I see.
Oh, and then we'll just
And
come
then
back
you'll mail
over
it.
here.
No, then I have to take the CD and figure out where your hearing is.
We'll go back.
Copy your hearing only, not everybody else.
I understand.
It's a short video anyway. I just don't want to miss it. See if they get arrested. This is where they got arrested last time.
That's perfect. Okay, and then you'll mail it to me, or should I pick it up, or what?
I'll let you know when. If,
I would
well,
say-
first we gotta make sure the tapes are gonna actually be able to be transferred, because I've had that issue with VHS tapes. They won't play.
Well, let's hope this one plays, because it might exonerate some reports that I've made about potential fraudulent
That's why I haven't charged
documentation.
you yet, because I wanna make sure the tape will actually play.
It's odd to be worried about that before it happens, but okay.
Well, because
I
I've
do-
had it happen before.
Have you
That's
ever
why.
had anybody come from another county and mess with your records? You sure it's never happened here that you know of? Okay. Do you not agree that it's quite strange for me to have a document in my file saying that I bonded out when I did not bond out?
Well, you're the only person telling me you didn't bond that. So I
Well,
don't know.
yeah, but if the records I asked for over at the sheriff's department will absolutely prove that. So when,
Well, the sheriff's department is not gonna have bond.
well, I'm sorry, the corrections department. The corrections department will absolutely prove it, because I was in here for minimum 14 days. I had visitors, I've requested all those records, and then those court tapes. There's a lot to prove it. You know what I mean? There's a lot to prove it, and it's gonna be proven. So my question is more or less this. Do you, as a clerk, which I'm sure you've done a lot of good work. I'm sure you've been in this office, you understand your job. I'm sure that you've seen the ins and the outs, you've seen mistakes, you've seen errors and things done perfectly. My question is more personal. I'm asking you, have you ever seen someone get something put in their file that didn't happen?
Something like not a misfile. That's wrong.
Something that absolutely did not happen at all is in the file alleging that it happened. Okay. All right. So I'll be the first one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate it. I really hope that you, because you don't show the signs of the person who's actually going to do anything. So I'm a little nervous that you won't. But you're an employee that did that. It's her fault. It is her fault, not ours. Not even, maybe not even the deputies to that extent to what he thought he needed to do in the moment. What he did, he's going to be responsible for full force, full excessive force, because he's already under investigation for it. So that part, I'm not. I don't care about where we stand for the deputies. I'm telling you right now, he's under.
Not that deputy.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, okay, because I was.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
but
called deputy clerk.
well,
Understood.
now, I will tell you this: law, black and white, there are no feelings.
Well, there are.
People are all different.
And that's
Every
why-
person's different. Now, I don't know that they told you this, but I've tried to tell your staff this. I feel like I talk loud because I have a hearing disability in my right ear. I can't hear out of my right ear. So when I see this glass and stuff, I have a habit of speaking louder than I need to because I don't know how loud it is for you to hear.
And I can promise you it drives me crazy at home.
And people on the phone say, Chris, stop yelling. You're distorting the hearing part, you know, but I don't realize I'm doing it because I can't hear. So I have a disability in that. Well, if they're saying it was because I was loud, well, that explains it, right? But there are a lot of people like me. Matter of fact, the kid that was in here with me was so loud when he was speaking. He had a great voice. He should be a singer. He was so loud that I couldn't hear myself or what the other lady was saying, and we paused and waited for him to tell his information.
I kind of feel bad for him because his poor name's out there on that line.
No, he's pretty happy. He's the witness. Yeah, he's happy to tell what happened.
He's a great.
I have another question.
Sure.
You know, we do confidential records.
Uh-huh.
What would you have done if I had a file for person who was-
Well, see, that's your rules. That's your rules. That's what you sign the agreement for.
No,
whenever
she's
you
asking
take.
what we would have done.
Well, what I would have done is. Well, I wouldn't have got it in my frame
Yeah,
to
we
the
would've
best of
turned
my
it.
ability.
We would have had to have known the sound. 'Cause we would have been.
Well, that's why I stepped outside. You'll see if you watch my live.
No, when that guy was in here, she stepped out. Oh, my camera's.
Those are static
I can-
feeds.
Yeah, these are static. Well, what you would have had to do was ask me politely to step out, but you could do that, and I would have.
Oh, absolutely. We
We
were
do that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we do sometimes. There's traffic stops and such where there's a lot of times, as long as those injuries weren't done by physical force or something by that cop, we don't walk away from the ambulance and let them do all their medical, and then we come back and talk to the police afterwards. No, we stop at places where people are hurt. Yeah, wouldn't you? If people are potentially in need, well, yeah, we'll video it.
We video these videos, keep everyone in that moment and that encounter accountable. It's accountability. Well, once
the
you've been
police wear what's called a body camera, body worn cam, BWC, and what that's for is the same thing as what we're doing. And those are open records. And if you were to go on the internet right now and learn more about what we do, what you would see is that the internet is actually chock full of body worn camera footage.
Right.
And anyone can get that and publish it.
Anywhere you see a camera in this building, we can request that video footage with a specific peculiarity to, to what we want to see, and we can get it and we can view it and we can publish it.
And that includes body worn camera of police officers. Yeah, it's just a minimal fee, but what's the difference if I use my camera or get their camera?
It's just cheaper.
All we're doing though, me and her, all we're doing is ensuring that everyone's safe. The name of my channel is called For Public Safety. I am ensuring that people are safe because she was the victim of a excessive force suit in which we are in litigation over, where the officer broke her spine. That's what started us. So after that happened to her, we thought, if it can happen to her, it's happening to other people. And we need to be a voice for those people. So we built a platform, and now we have a voice. And we're no longer going to allow cops like Chief Deputy Whited to come in here and try to hurt people like that physically. We're not going to do it.
Absolutely.
It's not acceptable. We, the people, are done with it. And we're trying to avoid it going to a physical situation. We are. We would like for it to be done respectively.
We would much rather talk.
We would like for chiefs of police, and we would like for sheriff department to handle that type of abusive officer immediately and get rid of them. We would like the clerk of court staff to handle their people who are overriding their ability to do their business with their feelings. We would like them handled because you people.
What happened? What happened? She get jumped? Oh well.
And then they bought different buildings, everything from an outhouse. Now they've got a fancy building with indoor plumbing. Not a penny of it was taxes, not a penny, nor to keep it up, including the street lights. The women's club pays for it, for the different things that they do. And it works quite well without government. Let's start at the bottom. How does a city run without a government and roads? We start at the bottom, so fine. Well, I've seen it a number of times in this town, but a number of times when there's a pothole, you'd see an old pickup pull up, stop, come off to the side of the road, dig up some dirt, come over, fill the pothole. You see, none of these are paved roads. There are no paved roads in Max, Nebraska. And they get by just fine without it. I said they get by just fine without paved roads. And I've even seen some little old ladies stop their cars and get out with a shovel and fill a hole, if need be, if need be. In the wintertime, they got a couple of good old boys, farmers in the area, that come through and bust the main roads open for them. They do things like that. And sometimes they have some of the local youth get together and they'll clean off sidewalks for some of the old. You can't ask for much better community than something like that, I'm here to tell you. And they did it without government. So instead of having an incorporated city that has a city manager making $200,000 a year, and he'd call the roads department of the city manager that's getting $100,000 a year, and that city roads manager would call the one of his flunkies that's making $30,000 a year to drive a $30,000 brand new pickup over to fill that hole. This city has found a better way. So how do you survive in a city without law enforcement? Well, this city's done it for 120 years. You might want to ask them how it's done. For example, now they did have a bank robbery. I said one in 120 years. In fact, this bank right here. And what they did, they took and old bank robber, and he took the employees and the bank manager and he put them in a vault there, slammed the door shut on them, locked them in there. Well, the old bank manager, he said, you know, a bank vault is made to keep people out, not to keep people in. And so what he did, he'd already pre-taken that door, inside of the door off, and then just tacked it up there with a couple of little bitty screws to hold it together. So he reached over, got his flashlight, screwdriver, unscrewed those, flipped the lever, pushed the door open, that easy. Walked over to the window, wrote down the license plate of the getaway car as it sped away. That was how easy they solved that crime. That's how easy they solved that crime. And there's been a few robberies. One guy was robbing, stealing some stuff, and the guy came up to him, and the robber was very glad to see the county sheriff finally show up, because he was facing, you know, a very large bore caliber handgun. And so he was very glad to be arrested by the county sheriff. But as far as law enforcement, they don't need it here. And they openly say they don't want it. They said they don't want to have to worry about turn signals and getting arrested for the drop of a hat. And rest assured, on dirt roads, you don't speed. You don't speed like you think you can on a paved road. And nobody in Max is in a hurry. Can you imagine that? You go to these big cities, be it Denver or Omaha or some of the others, everybody's on a hurry. It's so fast they can't get there quick enough. And they don't care if they run over you getting there. Not in Max, Nebraska. It ain't that way. Now, there are a few downsides to Max, Nebraska. Again, no pavement. And you'll see signs like this heading out of town in a number of directions saying, travel at your own risk, because the roads are less than perfect. But that's a small price to pay, because most everybody knows that the roads aren't perfect and they drive accordingly.
You're the newest developments with that?
Unlike the big cities that everybody's in a rush to get here and there real fast, everybody takes their time. They wave at everybody that drives by them. More than likely, they'll pull up beside somebody and just talk for a little bit, see how they're doing. You don't find that in the big cities, I'm here to tell you. And so what few negatives they have in this community are far outweighed by the idea that there's almost, if very little, if any governmental control here, and for sure, it's not incorporated. You don't have building code inspectors ready to destroy your life and law enforcement on every block. You don't have drug pushers that are endangering your family. These small communities are a blessing, and they show the rest of the nation, and in fact the world, that it can be done without government. I said without government. Rate this film. You have a good day.
Interesting.
We want people to be held accountable and for people to stop getting hurt.
That's all they want. That's all we want. That's not asking much from the public. You know, for you to do your job as a boss. And if that girl had feelings over my loud voice, and then we got attacked to do that, well, then you can help me, Miss Ellen.
Let me
can
step out of
call
your way, ma'am.
the sheriff. Well, that's where, okay, so I'm not allowed to release the video until
Yes, ma'am.
that's been released. I'll step over. You ready?
You want to get married again?
I've heard that. Just step over a broom. Yes, ma'am.
We are allowed to release that.
Really? Where's that at?
That to people like yourself after it's been, the phones and everything have been given back. That's, and I don't want to talk much about litigation because we have a criminal defense to handle now. So, but I will tell you that that's when we will be able to share that video. As soon as the sheriff lets go of our stolen property. And that's what's happening. The sheriff has stolen my devices, has stolen our phones. We can't work. I can't work. And I'm not talking about YouTube. That's not my job. My job is I'm 23 years of business as a commercial contractor. And all of my invoicing and all live. So the body cam is what they...
This is Michigan Constitutional Crusader. It is 10 p.m. We are out here at the Alger Correctional Facility, a Supermax prison, out in Munising. Out here with De Facto Media Group, and then this guy over here, I don't know if he wants to be on camera or not. All right, here we go. Tell him who you are.
Alger County.
That's right. So we're going to see what this place thinks of a couple of cameras out front. Tobacco and cell phones are prohibited. Dang, I got 2 cell phones and a cigarette. Good thing I'm not on the other side. It's definitely a well-lit facility, isn't it? Yeah, we should have come here earlier. Yeah, it might take a minute though. Right on.
Let's see.
I'm sure with it being Supermax, there's still going to be rovers all night long. So they'll see us out here at some point. Oh, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. Are you trying to stay warm? Calisthenics, huh? Yeah, right. Getting ready for a marathon. Could be. Let's see. How's that song go I was singing earlier? Yeah. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't know about that. I'd stay this side of the telephone poles just to be safe. I didn't pull a GIS, so. A GIS? Yeah. It shows the property line. Shows you how far off the road the property line starts. Everything up here goes to the center line. Usually 33 feet from the center line, which is 15 feet of road and then 20 feet, well, 18 feet, something like that. Recording you.
Oh shit.
You're supposed to say, stop cameraing me.
Yeah, you pull my phone out.
Yeah.
What's up, Dirty?
Stop cameraing me.
We're gonna kill this in a little bit. I'm just trying
That
to get
lady's
some,
gonna go
caught
down
up
in
on some
history
stuff here.
with that comment. Stop cameraing me. She said it out like, what? Oh, there goes a deer running across. Right? Don't hit the fence. You won't like it. I'm sure it's charged for 50,000 volts. I see someone in a costume. Oh, he's checking the doors. Yeah, making sure all the doors are locked. What a job that is. He's calling, help, help, I see free people.
Hey, Matt was able to do it.
People, you see free people. I see dumb people.
They don't teach civics anymore.
No.
But I mean, everyone has always gone under the assumption that you had to give permission to record even in public.
Hey,
I
stop
heard
humping that tree.
It's
Don't pee on that. No, he opened the gate. Oh, maybe he did open the door. Yeah. Philip said, "Don't pee on that." Ooh, that was a nasty one. Sorry about that.
What was that?
Oh yeah, that burger was awesome. Was it?
I've never had a bad meal out of there.
Right on.
They're full man.
I see you. Big man with a little stick. You compensating for something? Could be. To test the fence, maybe? Make sure it arcs. Right. Oh, okay. Right. Yep, that's what he's doing. He's smacking the fence. And 3 already made it over. Oh, there's 2 of them over there now. Oh, they're going to pass the joint now. You guys passing Playboys or marijuana? Or other illicit drugs collected from buttholes. TV for my butthole!
Yeah, just this channel. Yeah, just this channel. We may do something else with the other channel. The wife came up with some good, being able to use those points once I reset it for like merchandise and stuff. But that'll come after some growth.
That's a long pole.
Yeah, it is. I can't do
It's expandable.
You got that long dick.
What up, long down, Charlie? You win. Your stick's longer than mine.
You tell cell 43 to hurry it up. Pump the toilet.
Courtesy flush.
Oh my god. Yeah, that fucking pole was 20 feet fucking long.
Yup. What an asshole.
They want to play games.
Yeah. They want to play games.
Okay.
I'm good at games. Bam! Bitch.
Rumble channel, my. Thanks for the follow on Rumble. I just noticed that. You see anything in chat? Oh, Stoic Slice. Sorry about that. What is this you got for me? I'm not going to play copyrighted music. Sorry. I finally get someone to say something in my Rumble chat, and it's first he asked me to do a flip. Hi, say something. It says play this, and it's some Spanish music. This job dirty. Yeah, I think he went up. He's been Jared's been on it all morning. No, still didn't catch it.
Officer 0000123 is recording.
Talk. Oh, you mean via voice? Yeah. So I can see them are hanging out again though. All right. So why? Okay, inactive. Placed. All right, let me. Fuck.
Boogity boogity.
Could be me, could be you.
What's that? Uh-huh. He's repositioning. What's that? What's that?
What? So you support Trump? What the hell is this?
Oh yeah.
Look on shirt.
Uh-oh, he's repositioning again.
I support any rulers. I believe most of us are in that same boat.
This is rather comical.
I have no bookmarks on the X. Do you get a new X account yet, Anna?
To left, to right now. Dip. I want to see you make that forward dip. Now you can't see me at all. Oh, man. Like a dog. You don't want the grass stains, though. That would be funny, though. Right? Teepee for my bunghole. Sounds like you're cocking something. Yeah. I'm going to shoot you with my ectoplasmic evaporator.
So once your account is suspended, you can't deactivate it anymore.
So you got 2 guards on foot and you got the rover. You see that? Yeah. There's one over here, there's one over there, and there's in the rover. We're putting a little spice in their life. Maybe they're having issues with their fence. That's why they're all out here now. They come out and tested it and realized they were having issues with sensors. And so now we got 2 guards inside and this guy outside.
Vision goes on lockdown due to the first one in wilderness. Why First Amendment laws are beneficial? See the headline.
Right?
Exposing weaknesses in public safety.
I mean, with this being a Supermax, obviously there's murderers in here.
Oh yeah.
You
This
know?
is where the HardAtWork on is.
Right. The mass murderers and shit.
Yeah, because we don't have a death penalty issue.
Right.
Yeah, thanks. This is Ellicott County? Yeah. Yep, Captain Walker was the one. Yeah. Yep. Yep, the blue line flag. Oh, that's right. Yeah. They don't like cameras. That's right.
Oh, fuck.
Hi.
30 denied.
No waves. Hell of an echo. Oh, no, they're coming over there. But I do believe there are ratings for law enforcement badges. No. I'm just saying that that's what it is. No. You think they know there's nothing they can do, nothing wrong. Well, you can do whatever the fuck we want. We're free.
Yeah.
Hail Hitler! Huh? Yeah, right. Light Scheiße! You know any German? I just called him a little shit. Guten Eizer!
Please, please, come out first of all, please.
Tell them how stupid they are. His headlights aren't shining this way anymore. Yep, that's definitely a Ford.
I'm so sick of the fucking posting about Israel and Hamas. So tiring. Patrick Smith. I stay with hummus too. I just had some Sunday. Man, I already have a fucking another copyright claim. I've been getting them big time. They just trim out the parts they want. Yeah, salt. Salt does that. Yeah. I think every older car that I owned first. There we go. Um, That's here. She's not in the chat anymore? Yeah, she's still here. Yeah, no shit. Your turn, motherfucker. All right, guys. Y'all have a good evening. I may do another stream from work tonight. I don't know if we got new people coming in. So let's get this ready. This is still a long video. Still another fucking 10 minutes left in this, and I gotta get going. Yeah, I'll do another one from work later.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, got some egos to the face. Baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, got some egos to the face. Baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on her tight frame. All game,